Today, I'm pleased to make a truly historic announcement in our battle against the China virus that will save countless lives. Convalescent, strong antibodies from the blood of recovered patients to help treat patients battling a current infection. Convalescent, this is the only possible, and it's only made possible because of Operation Convalescent. Today, I'm pleased to make a truly historic announcement in our battle against the China virus that will save countless lives. We provided $48 million to fund the Mayo Clinic study that tested the efficacy of convalescent the virus. Convalescent. This is the
Nobody that's a leader would not do what I did. And I know there's a risk, there's a danger, but that's okay. I just left Walter Reed Medical Center. And I learned so much in coronavirus. Don't be afraid of it. You're going to beat it. We have the best medical equipment. Don't be afraid of it. Felt great, like better than I have in a long time. Don't be afraid of it. I didn't feel so good. Don't be afraid of it. You're going to beat it. We have the coronavirus. Don't be afraid of it. And now I'm better, and maybe I'm immune. I don't know. Be afraid of it. Don't let it dominate. Don't let it take over your lives. Be afraid of it. Don't let that happen. We're the greatest country in the world. Be afraid of it. As your leader, I had to do that. I knew there's danger to it, but I had to do it. But don't let it dominate your lives. Get out there. Be careful. We have the best medicines in the world, and they're all happening very shortly, and they're all getting approved, and the vaccines are coming momentarily.
All right. Wow. Enough of that. We have too much going on today to just play songs all day. We are standing by for a press briefing with the Biden campaign. It is unclear as of right now, number one, when it will be, number two, if this is a Joe Biden briefing or if it is others. But we are standing by for that. We do have breaking news. At this time, I can report to you something that I tweeted hours ago. The Associated Press has called the state of Wisconsin for Joseph R. Biden Jr., now putting Joseph 22 electoral votes from securing victory. And nothing is guaranteed. Everyone must vote. I guess I can stop saying that since voting is done. But we are really now getting into the thick of it, and we're going to be going through a number of these different elements. I am going to be updating my map as well momentarily. But what you need to understand is there is a completely separate narrative, a story that is being told to you right now by those who want to believe that everything is fine other than Trump was robbed of an election by evil socialist, Marxist anarchists. Other than that, everything's going fine. Donald Trump now talking about sending his children to Philadelphia, where Rudy Giuliani is going. Trump talking about and filing a lawsuit in Michigan, which is still uncalled. Trump is fundraising like crazy because recounts are expensive, and he's doing a recount wants a recount in Wisconsin, which we will talk about. And then in addition to that, where I've got to get all of my elements organized here, otherwise we're going to have a tough time. Also, Arizona, even though the AP has called it, the Trump campaign insisting that they will win Arizona by about 75,000 votes. Currently, they are losing by 94,000 votes. So we're going to talk about all of these things. My view right now, after spending last night with you guys, by the way, record-setting night, perfect night. I will talk to you guys about it in a moment. We have data and data now from it. I think the Associated Press is being extraordinarily responsible. The Associated Press, as you can see, has not called Nevada, has not called Michigan, has not called Pennsylvania, North Carolina, or Georgia. They haven't even called Alaska, actually, even though Alaska appears as though it will be irrelevant in the final calculus. I think when the Associated Press calls it, it's good, essentially, and I think that we can trust that. Now, before we move on to the specifics, I do want to point you guys to some interesting numbers. Donald Trump, again, has lost the popular vote, not by a little, but by a lot. And Donald Trump won the Electoral College with 304 electoral votes in 2016, despite losing the popular vote by a couple of points. And indeed, now Joe Biden has received a record number of votes. First of all, most people voted for Biden. Biden is over 50%. That's number one. Number two, 70 million votes for Joseph R. Biden Jr. Never has a candidate received 70 million votes in American history. And of course, as our population grows, absolute numbers don't necessarily mean what someone, all the normal caveats, but understand that is absolutely massive. The Electoral College needs to go. Trump wouldn't be president were it not for the Electoral College at all. And we would be talking about nothing. We would be talking about other things right now. Right now, it is a margin of about 2.8 million votes, a similar margin to, I believe, what Hillary Clinton won by. Maybe Hillary was more like 2.6. But this is going to be a big margin because remember, we're waiting on Atlanta. We're waiting on Philly. We're waiting on Pittsburgh. There's all sorts of numbers that we are still waiting for. Look at California, guys. We only have 2/3 of the vote in from California. This is going to be a historic popular vote win for Joseph R. Biden Jr. And maybe he will also become president because of our system. One is not guaranteeing of the other. Now, I'm not going to do it today because we're dealing with the news of today and trying to figure out who is going to be the next president. But I don't want it to be lost on anybody that, as an independent progressive who has never been a Democrat, there are some serious problems for the Democratic Party going forward. A lot of why Donald Trump got 67 million votes is idiotic people. It's people who they see a pandemic poorly dealt with. They see a disastrous economy. They see anti-police brutality protests poorly dealt with. They recognize that they're poorly dealt with, but they still vote for Trump anyway. And I discussed that on today's podcast. But the numbers for Hispanic voters for Biden, win or lose the Electoral College, the numbers are a disaster. The Democratic Party needs to figure out what the hell is going on, to borrow a phrase from Donald Trump. I have some ideas, and we're going to be talking about that. In all likelihood, Democrats are not going to take the Senate, as you can see right now. It is not looking like Democrats are going to take the Senate, although we still have to wait. Even in the House, as of right now, it is going more in the direction of Republicans. Republicans have flipped 5 seats and so far have gained 5 while Democrats have lost 5. So if indeed, I am the ultimate realist with you guys. If indeed Joseph R. Biden Jr. becomes the next president of the United States, eking out a win that is nothing like what the 538 projections were, if Biden wins, it will look like my projection. And I'm not patting myself on the back. Many people believed that this was not going to look like 350 electoral votes for Biden. If he squeaks it out, there are some real questions to talk about. As far as the Senate, remember, I've been saying for years, I don't think Democrats take it in 2020. I think the opportunity for Democrats is in 2022. There was a period there where it looked like maybe Democrats could take it. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. So all of these issues are issues we're going to talk about. But for the time being, we are standing by for Joe Biden. We are monitoring all sorts of different election broadcasts, although really the big news right now is that Wisconsin has been called for Joe Biden. Let's transpose over to my 270 to win website. This is the map. Let me make sure. 248, 214, 248, 214. Okay, so let me just play the scenarios out for you. At this point in time, let's just give Alaska to Trump because eventually Trump's going to get it. I don't see any point in keeping it. At some point, it's going to go to Trump. At this point, if Biden gets Michigan alone, it's not enough. Okay, so Biden needs Michigan and Nevada. That's one possibility. Alternatively, if he gets neither, Pennsylvania alone is also not enough. Okay, and then again, we still have questions about North Carolina. It's not looking good in North Carolina, but North Carolina and Nevada would get us to 269. But if Trump were to get the others, we have that tie. I think a tie is extraordinarily unlikely. I think it is extraordinarily unlikely. Right now, as many of you are pointing out, Nevada is looking blue. It is half a point. No votes have been reported in the last many hours. We don't know when we are going to know that. So Nevada going blue would certainly be good. But again, with our currently outstanding, there are still people, by the way, there are still people saying that Georgia could even ultimately go to Joseph Biden. I just don't see it. I don't see it. It would be interesting. Now, there are people talking about Nebraska 2. Oh, what is going on in Nebraska 2? I actually don't know what is going on in Nebraska 2, but we have the same count, 248 to 214. We have Nebraska 2. How is it being counted here? Oh, what's going on? Sounds like some strange noises outside. So there is one. Oh, interesting. So I'm off then. If we give one to Biden, one Republican, two Democrat. Yeah, but now I'm off. Now I'm off because 248 to 214. Now I have 249 to 216. What? Oh, Trump got one in Maine as well. Okay, so Trump gets one in Maine. There we go. Now I'm at 248 to 217, 248, 240. Oh, and that's Alaska. Okay, because I have Alaska. Fair. Okay. So now we're lined up. 248 to 214, 248 to 214. Alaska will eventually go red. Perfect. Okay, perfect. Now we've got it. So again, the point is with Michigan and Nevada, Biden wins. He doesn't need Georgia, North Carolina, or Pennsylvania. That's the point. So there are basically a number of paths forward. This would be one path forward. If Michigan and Nevada were to go red, of course, Biden could win with Pennsylvania and North Carolina. If he doesn't get North Carolina, but does get Pennsylvania and Michigan, that's a win. If he doesn't get Michigan, but he gets Pennsylvania and Nevada, that's a win. So there's a whole bunch of different scenarios here, none of which are guaranteed. Now, why aren't they guaranteed as we are getting close to hearing from Joe Biden? They're not guaranteed because it is lawsuit hell that is starting right now. Trump campaign has... Holy shit, there's 50,000 people watching. I thought we'd have like 5,000 viewers right now. Holy shit. Okay, sorry, that actually distracted me. The Trump campaign has filed a lawsuit in Michigan. Now, what's fascinating about the Michigan lawsuit is they don't seem to understand that Biden's ahead. So if you stop counting right now, Biden wins. I don't know what they're thinking there, but they are desperate. Meanwhile, Donald Trump declared victory yesterday. Remember this?
So we won there. We lead by 76,000 votes with almost nothing left. And all of a sudden, everything just stopped.
So we'll fact check this. Things stopped because they stopped counting ballots overnight.
This is a fraud on the American public.
Fraud.
This is an embarrassment to our country.
So he's already claiming fraud.
We were getting ready to win this election. Frankly, we did win this election.
And of course, the crowd cheering, but there was no election to take a victory lap on at this time. There was no election to take a victory lap on at this time. So we've got that. We've got this. We also have Rudy Giuliani, who says en route to Philadelphia with legal team. Massive cheating. Trump up by 550 with 75% counted. Will not let Philly Democrat hacks steal it. They are also reportedly deploying Eric Trump and others to Philadelphia. So anybody thinking Trump is going to go quietly, he is not going to go quietly. He is not going to go quietly. Okay. What else? Wow, things are just exploding. I'm getting text messages. That's rude. I should definitely silence my phone. We're going to hear from the Biden campaign very, very soon. If you're just joining us again, just to reset, the big news is that Wisconsin has gone for Joe Biden. Joe Biden now with 7 or 8 different likely combinations, which could get him to 270. We don't know yet. Everything must be counted. In the meantime, let me take a look at what's going on in Pennsylvania. In Pennsylvania right now, Trump is plus 7.7. If you look at Philadelphia, they've still got 39% of the Philadelphia vote to count. Do the math, okay? Biden's winning roughly 4-1 in Philly, and 40% of the vote is still out there. That is unilaterally could reverse the results. Pittsburgh, 74% counted, Biden winning by 11. That could be another 70 or 80,000 vote margin that disappears when Pittsburgh is completely counted. This is a real thing. Okay, this is math. And Trump, I guess we should look, if Biden's not speaking yet, we can briefly look. Trump is losing it on Twitter. Trump is absolutely melting down on Twitter. Now, I'm going to tell you, if Trump wins, these tweets are going to be really disturbing. If Trump loses, we are going to print these out and I'm going to frame them and they're going to be up here for the next 4 years. Trump's tweeting agit trash, as I call it, and it is being flagged by Twitter as deceptive. Okay, Trump tweeting. Last night I was leading, often solidly in many key states. In almost all instances, Democrat run and controlled. Then one by one, that's how we count the votes, Donnie, one by one. One by one, they started to magically disappear as surprise ballot dumps were counted. Very strange. And the pollsters got it completely wrong. What's happening is they're counting ballots. They're counting ballots. Trump, then again, how come every time they count mail-in ballot dumps, Trump really obsessed with dumps in these tweets, they are so devastating in their percentage and power of destruction? Because the early vote was overwhelmingly against you. It's very simple. It's very, very simple. What is this all about? This is just garbage. Trump tweeting to a Matt Walsh post, which then led to some other tweet, which has then been removed. I mean, it's completely crazy. It's a rabbit hole of nothing. You just go in. It's like Russian dolls. You just go into the smaller and smaller ones, and there's nothing there. They are finding Biden votes all over the place. So bad for our country. Well, they're counting votes. They're counting votes. Can you imagine? Can you imagine this? And then what else from Trump? Here's another misleading one. They're working hard to make up a 500,000 vote advantage in Pennsylvania. All of these are getting flagged. We are winning Pennsylvania big, but the Secretary of State announced there are millions of ballots left to be counted. If you are for democracy, if you hear there are millions of ballots to be counted, you say, shit, let's count them. Millions of ballots to count. What? Let's see. We could throw them out. We could file a lawsuit so that we don't count them. Or maybe we count the ballots. Like that's where my mind goes when I hear there are millions to be counted. It's absolutely ridiculous. Okay, we are standing by for Joe Biden. Welcome to everybody watching on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. I was really not expecting a big crowd today. I just thought I would kind of get us all caught up on what's going on. But we do have 65,000 viewers on YouTube. We do have 2,500 on Facebook and 3,500 delightful Twitch users all here. And we are about to hear from the Biden campaign momentarily. A few thank yous. I do want to say thanks to Peggy Calhoun, who's new member number 1 today at joinpacman.com. Also thanks to Adam Rude is new member number 2. Brian Green is number 3. And Benjamin DeVries is new member number 4. We also are counting Twitch subs, and we are at, we started at 1672. We're at 1676, which puts us at 8. Very much appreciate it. Now, I want to congratulate you guys. I have stunning data from last night's stream, okay? This is just you. I wish I had data from Twitch and Facebook, but I don't. We were 16th YouTube wide. Think about all of the people covering the election. Last night, we were 16th across YouTube globally with our stream. 1.4 and climbing million total views of that stream. When we add in Twitch and Facebook, we estimate we had between 1.5 million and 2 million views for our broadcast yesterday. Unbelievable numbers. The only independent news outlet that beat us yesterday was the Young Turks. They streamed all day. They have 5 million subscribers. Not a surprise. We beat everybody. And then otherwise you have, these $100 million production outfits like NBC, CBS News. We were right with them. Unbelievable numbers. Absolutely unbelievable. And by the way, you guys see this right here? This is my favorite. YouTube says we only got 33 subscribers from yesterday's stream. Do you know why that is? It's because you guys broke the subscribe button. So many people hit subscribe during yesterday's YouTube stream that you triggered a spam alert where YouTube thought, there can't possibly be thousands of people signing up for David Pakman right now. We're going to just cut it and we'll count the they're going to be counting these after the fact. You had to get the subscribe in on election day. These are going to be counted after the fact. So we're expecting anywhere from 5 to 15,000 subscribers from yesterday. They're still counting these, very analogous, in fact, to what's going on with the election. So thank you. Very, very important. I mean, just unbelievable numbers. And allegations that we were using bots, of course, continuing to pour in, but I completely deny that. No bots whatsoever were used. And by the way, it's crazy. Every time YouTube looks for subscriptions, they're finding 1,000 here, they're finding 1,000 there. It's crazy. And recounts are being demanded. Oh, one other thing I want to mention. I haven't seen any of this yet, but I've been getting emails saying, David, have you seen that cultural critic and arbiter of ideas, Dave Rubin, is playing up the fraud angle, that Biden stole it? Have you seen that Tim Pool is playing up the fraud angle? I haven't seen any of that. I don't pay attention to those guys. I have no clue what on earth they are talking about. Someone sent me a screenshot of a Tim Pool video from a few weeks ago saying there will be a Trump landslide or something. I don't know what's real and what's not. I don't pay attention to those guys whatsoever. So I would not be able to comment on that because I have no clue what it is that they're saying. Okay, let's get to people asking if I'm going to go through the scenarios. I already did, but I see that we have a lot of people joining last minute. So, okay, let me just do it again real quick. This is the map right now. Wait, no, this is not the map. What am I missing here? Pennsylvania. Jeez. Okay. This is the map right now. We've given Trump Alaska because I believe he's going to get it. Wisconsin called for Joseph R. Biden Jr. So the possibilities are Biden gets Michigan and Nevada. Okay. Michigan and Nevada gets him over the edge. Doesn't need any of these three. If he doesn't get Michigan, but he does get Nevada, Pennsylvania would also work. Or North Carolina would get him to 269, which is a problem. Or Georgia would get him to 270. So that's another possibility. If he doesn't get Nevada, but gets Michigan and Pennsylvania, that would work. Michigan and North Carolina would work. Michigan and Georgia would work. If he didn't get Michigan, Georgia and Pennsylvania would work. Or Georgia and North Carolina. Or North Carolina and Georgia. So I think what we're saying is two of almost any of these, other than if Nevada's one of them, you probably need three. That's the important thing. If Nevada's one of them, you probably need three. Any of those combinations would get Joe Biden to 270. And that's really what matters. That's really what matters. So it is very, very close. If you had followed my map, I do think that we're going to do a sort of postmortem on polling at some point when we can't do it until we have all the numbers. But I was warning people, 538 predicts 350 for Biden. 5:30. Oh, thanks, David Chadman, for the 10 subs. Princeton predicts 355 for Biden. I was getting attacked, and I'm not playing victim. I'm just saying people disagreed with me. I was getting attacked for being wrong. I'm a big boy. I can handle it. Saying, David, Biden's going to run away with this. This is going to be easy. Why are you so worried? Why are you telling people the polls may be overstating the lead? Why? Well, this is why. This is why my map didn't even give Joe Biden 300 electoral votes. We are seeing why. Okay. Anyway. But yeah, everybody was so mean to me. When I said vote, everybody was mean. Come on, guys. I'm not Trump. I can handle it. Jeez. Okay, let's get to a couple of super chats that I want to get to. I'll just do a couple because these are just flying in. How is it possible to just count up one by one? This Arabic-sounding arithmetic is a Zionist plot. Come on, David, don't be a shill. What an attack on math. Emmanuel says, you deserve it all, David. Very objective, informative content. Thanks for keeping us up to speed. Ritualistic Mystic says, as a trans man living in America, I find it hard to want to stay in this country. I understand. We're so behind the times for a developed country. Yeah, the world is laughing. I mean, listen, if Donald Trump loses this election electorally, the world is still going to know we have 67 million Trumpists here. Okay. And that's an embarrassment. And we will talk about that. I actually did a piece today on my podcast about how to understand the 67 million votes for Trump. And it's very easy to say these are merely stupid people, or these are merely bad people, or merely ignorant people, or merely religious extremists. There are instances of all of that. But the piece I did on today's podcast, which all of you, if you don't get my daily podcast, I don't know what you're doing. On the podcast, I explained that to understand the Trumpist mentality, ignorance aside, malevolence aside, all of that stuff aside, you have to understand that they believe they are at war in a literal sense. Okay. And from that comes a lot of understanding about how and why it is impossible to reason with a lot of those individuals. People asking how many hours of sleep I got last night. Yeah, I actually posted, speaking of following, I don't know how many of you follow me on Instagram. You should really follow me on Instagram for coffee pictures and espresso pictures, voting videos, and all sorts of different things. But I did post relatively early this morning. Here we go again. My cappuccino. I never claimed to be able to do latte art. I just claimed to know how to dial in the espresso. My claims about latte art have never been significant. Back in front of the map, I was probably, we went off air at midnight, and I, had a snack, looked at Twitter, read a bunch of I'm reading a great Blake Crouch book right now. I was probably asleep by 1:15, and I planned to sleep into 8:30, actually. It just was not possible. I was roused at about 7:15, 7:30, and I was just starting to wonder what was going on. So I was up. At that point, but that was my night. Okay. Oh, people shocked that I'm left-handed. Yeah, I control the mouse with my left hand. That's true. Not Recursion by Blake Crouch. It's actually, I have read Recursion. Recursion by Blake Crouch is fantastic. Dark Matter is fantastic. Blake Crouch, by the way, a friend of the show. He's been on the show. I've been working my way through some of Blake Crouch's older sort of suspense horror type stuff. And I encourage you to check it out. He's got some really good stuff. I'm reading the sequel to the first Andrew Thomas series, so to speak. Recursion is a fantastic book. Fantastic book. Okay. We are standing by. We think we're going to hear from Joe Biden, but we don't actually know. So we're going to wait. A few other super chats coming in. Let's see. David, I'm happy you're sounding more optimistic today. You scared me last night with your panicked outlook. Listen, so last night when we signed off, I was at 35% panic. By the way, moderators on YouTube, let's do something about these posts where it's like 100 of the same image. These are not good. With what we've got going on, with 60,000 people watching, we really can't have that stuff clogging up. Let's see if we can do something a little bit about that. I think my panic level has gone from about 35% to 25%. I think, did I close out at 60 yesterday? Maybe I did. Anyway, I'm at like 25% panic right now. I see a path, and it's a very specific path. Let's just see if we have any updated numbers. Michigan now at 98%. Biden up 0.6. Pennsylvania, 84%. And the margin has started to close a little bit, maybe. We're still waiting. More vote. This is important. We have more vote coming in from Nevada. We just got about 8% more. And it is still just a very slim margin for Joe Biden. So we're keeping an eye on that. There are still some folks holding out hope in Georgia. The margin in Georgia with 95% reporting is 1.6. And then North Carolina with 94% reporting, the margin is 1.4. So Trump can't afford to lose any of those at this point. He can lose one in theory. People asking my reaction to the speech from Trump claiming victory at 2 a.m. We just looked at that. Nevada's done for the day. That's good to know. We just looked at that. I predicted on Monday. I got crushed for that prediction as well. On Monday, I said Trump will step up to a podium if he even has a path to victory and claim victory. And that's exactly what he did. I'm accepting apologies via Telegram, not the website, like actual telegrams. If you want to send me a telegram, I would appreciate that. Okay. A couple of other super chats. Will the left realize they are at war and respond in kind? Interesting. Leo says, if Trump loses, do you believe there will be peaceful MAGA protests or angry MAGA riots? And if so, what would be the law enforcement response? Listen, Trump is already playing up this thing that it was stolen, that they're stealing his votes, that they're going to get their votes with lawsuits and recounts. So I believe that there is a real risk of Trumpist armed violence. I believe it's a serious possibility. Jacob says we need to stop counting votes in Michigan so we can know who won already. Democracy can't be delayed. Also, we need to recount all the votes in Wisconsin. Democracy is slow and we need to be patient. Will it be hard for Trump to push these messages at once? Well, anybody who has common sense realizes the absurdity of those messages. But a lot of people aren't realizing that. And Donald Trump is simultaneously saying, we just have to stop counting in certain places. And we've got to keep counting in certain places, and we need lawsuits, and we need recounts, and we need Rudy Giuliani. I don't know if you saw earlier, we looked at this tweet. Rudy posting, en route to Philadelphia with legal team. Massive cheating, says Rudy. Let's see if he's posted anything else. No. That's his last post. So there is that. Just unbelievable stuff. Let's see what is going on. CBS, nothing of particular interest. And NBC, nothing. Let's listen in a little bit. Oh, it sounds like there's nothing to listen in to, interestingly enough. Okay. Let's take a look also at ABC News and see what is going on there. That was CBS. Let's see what's going on with ABC News.
In the former vice president's favor. Now, we could have a wait of several days before we get all of these results, Terry, Diane, because they are going very, very slowly. They didn't start counting until yesterday. They said they thought they could count about 30,000 mail-in votes an hour. It turned out to be about 10,000. So we're sort of hanging out in Pennsylvania, camped out. And
so we're waiting there. People said I had the wrong NBC stream. Let me see. Is this the right one? Here is the right. Okay, let's listen to what's going on here.
Donald Trump, Biden with the advantage there. The Trump campaign announcing that they would be calling for a recount immediately, something that they can do when the vote is within 1 percentage point. Right now, it is under 1% that separates the two, even as we have announced that Joe Biden is the apparent winner in that state. And then within the next 30 minutes, now less than that, about 20 minutes from now in Pennsylvania, specifically in Philadelphia, we are going to hear the next sort of effort by the Trump campaign.
Great.
Corey Lewandowski, the former campaign manager.
I mean, disgusting, but I'm glad that it'll happen on stream so we can take it all in together.
Giuliani, the president's personal attorney, will all be there for a news conference to take place in the next half hour. I'm told by folks in the campaign that they are focusing on what they describe as ongoing election issues in Philadelphia.
Yeah, the issues are they're counting ballots.
Complaining about what he described as massive cheating in that state. Again, there's no evidence of any cheating taking place. In fact, in Pennsylvania, they are still counting the ballots that are outstanding.
Don't you understand? That's the cheating. Continuing to count ballots. That's the cheating that they're talking about.
Any ballots that were postmarked by yesterday, Election Day, if they arrive by this Friday, so within 72 hours of Election Day, they would be legal and they could be counted. Those in the Trump campaign say they are demanding that the folks in Philadelphia play by the rules. For the moment, those are the rules.
Play by the rules.
Has said otherwise. Again, the Supreme Court standing by them. So that's where things stand right now from the campaign's purposes. The president, as you've noted last night, effectively declaring victory, falsely, obviously, and prematurely. But now they're sort of conceding that that's not the case, that they can't claim victory, changing their language, at least the campaign.
They won, but they need lawsuits and press conferences and certain places to stop counting and certain places to keep counting, but only if they're Trump votes, and if not, they don't. They've won. Oh, they're sure that they've won, but they're going to need to invoke force majeure. Let me get up to speed on new members. We have just added an additional 19 website members, which puts us at 27 today. And also on Twitch, adding 40 more, which puts us at 67. Delightful number. Delightful number. And so the schedule, guys, as of right now, is we're expecting to hear from some motley crew of Trumpists, including, I'm hearing some combination of Rudy Giuliani, Eric Trump, maybe Ivanka. I don't know if Jared Kushner has been dispatched to Philadelphia. Corey Lewandowski, we heard. I don't know. But we're going to be hearing from a bunch of people from Trump in Philadelphia as well, where they are, I guess, going to be making the case that there's cheating. I don't know. It's the peanut gallery. Exactly right. That is absolutely exactly right. Patrick asking whether I got any sleep. Yes, I did. I got about 6.5 hours of sleep. I posted to my Instagram this morning my cappuccino, and I was right back at it in front of my computer looking at the map. And a lot of other interesting things. For people who are new to these streams, I did post video voting. As you can see, there it is, full insertion of my ballot into an official Dropbox and then just walking right off screen. I actually sent this to my doctor. He said he had never seen anybody vote like this before. He said it was really something else. And boom, just right in and off, mask, nose clip strongly in. And it was a great day. It was really, really a great day. So those are the kinds of things on my Instagram if you want a little bit of a break from the constant tragedy of our current situation. Okay, let me get to some other super chats because there are lots of people who want to weigh in. Kristen says, as a Canadian, I'm shook at the orange man and even more at the Americans who vote for him. Of course, I share those sentiments. Mart says, much respect from St. Therese, Quebec, Canada, city just north of Montreal. Sounds lovely. Joshua says, per the New York Times, the Trump recount in 2016 only yielded him 131 more votes. Let him count. It'll take weeks. Fair. Ankit is asking my take on Mitch McConnell's statements today. I actually didn't see them. I don't know what Mitch McConnell said, so I would be unable to comment on that. There is more activity happening and more hijinks, so it looks like soon something is going to happen here. Let me see what folks are saying over on Twitch. I don't want to miss a second of what's happening there. Chive has resubbed for 14 months, says, 14 months feels like yesterday when CNN thought they owned the Democratic debate rights. Well said. Lazy Titan via Twitch says, fingers crossed for Biden in the UK. The Weebs says, just to remind you, you said 60% panic. That's right, yeah. So I was at 60% panic when we ended yesterday. I'm back down to about 20-25%. I think that's an appropriate level of panic at this point in time. And until the numbers change, I think that's where we're going to do it. Now, it looks like they're bringing out a second lectern, and we have now lost signal altogether. We've been standing by on this stream for a while, and we have now completely lost the signal. So we will go elsewhere and see what else is going on. Waiting for both the Biden campaign and some delegates of the Trump campaign in Philadelphia. So we're expecting a lot of different things coming up very, very soon. Let's see here. You know, I think that I don't like this super chat. We're going to remove it. I think it's referring to a group that is white supremacist group, so we're going to remove that. Onkit says Mitch McConnell said all votes need to be counted and states decide presidential election, not candidates. Well, if that's what he said, then he's absolutely correct. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. Rockwell says Biden underestimated the uneducated white male boat sinking, made in China, Trump flag flying, campaign bus intimidation vote. Damn it, Joe. That's true. That vote is bigger than Joe Biden conceded. That's absolutely true. Daniel says, David, if Biden wins, Republicans hold the Senate, Democrats have the House. How can we avoid a classic 2010 gridlock? We can't. And that's exactly what I'll be talking about later this week. We essentially can't. DC says, what's the deal with recounts? Have there ever been recounts with vastly different outcomes? Well, you know, you look at Florida in 2000 and the fact that the recount was stopped. Remember, the recount was stopped in Florida. And you wonder. But let's see what happens in Wisconsin this time around. Let's see what we have here from ABC News.
To Election Day. So it's something that was on the minds of everyone here. And also, this is a state that is very divided. So in those blue areas, in Milwaukee, in Green Bay, in Madison, mask adherence seems to be something that people don't have an issue with. But you go to other parts of the state, and we've seen this over the last few weeks, people don't believe they should be forced to wear masks. There have been several lawsuits that have come against the governor for his mask ordinance and other precautions, restrictions that he's tried to put in place here to control the spread of coronavirus. So the pandemic very much on the minds of everyone here, and still a massive, massive problem. And Wisconsin, like several other states right now, really doesn't seem to have it under control just yet. Diane?
All right, Alex Perez in Wisconsin.
Yeah, remember, another 100,000 cases of coronavirus roughly yesterday. 100,000 cases, more or less. We have, let's listen to Senator, is this Chris Coons? I'm forgetting who this is.
Because if the president and his campaign continue to cast doubt on these results, continue to say there were, they've been making claims that there were disenfranchised voters, that there were things happening in certain states that we haven't been able to verify at this point, but they're casting doubt. Will that tarnish, as we move forward here, will that make it harder for the vice president if he is declared a winner?
Well, if Donald Trump had a reputation as a truthful man who routinely said clear and science-based and truthful things about other matters, it might be a greater problem. But we know that President Trump almost daily says things that are wildly untrue about things as important as the pandemic and public health, about world relations, about the size of his own crowds, about all sorts of things. He is just a serially untruthful man who has great difficulty saying things that are honest.
Senator, can I ask you to pause and stay with us for a moment? I want to get back to Peter Alexander at the White House with a little bit of developing news about the president in Pennsylvania, I understand, Peter?
Important.
Yeah, Kate, that's exactly right. As we noted, there will be a news conference taking place in Pennsylvania about 10 to 15 minutes from now, but we just received a statement from the Trump campaign about the newest actions, the legal actions they're taking in their words to, quote, fight for the integrity of the most important election in our lifetime right now. So at issue here is the fact that, as we noted, in that state, they can receive ballots that are postmarked by yesterday, Election Day, through this Friday, and that those ballots would be counted. That was upheld by the Supreme Court. Well, now, according to this new statement from the Trump campaign, the action they are taking, they are suing to stop the counting of those ballots right now. They want to try to pursue this.
Trump doesn't want ballots counted.
Try to get, I suspect, the Supreme Court to weigh in at
Trump's strategy is stop enfranchising people, disenfranchise people to win.
Justice Amy Coney Barrett, who is on the court, and separately that they are demanding access to these voting locations in Pennsylvania, where some of the voting, the counting process is.
Rudy wants to fish around for another laptop from hell.
In Michigan. So not clear that they have yet filed suit, but that they will be filing suit in Pennsylvania as well. Again, Rudy Giuliani, the president's personal attorney, will be among those who is
Rudy's got to get slapped around, proverbially, of course.
Only a short time from now. As we've been reporting, they are looking for any possible avenue to try to claw back some of these states. This is a state where they have an advantage right now, but there is, I think, 1.3 something million votes still out there. And if you look at the map, particularly in the bottom right of that screen, those collar counties around Philadelphia, the expectation is that a lot of those votes, many of them mail-in ballots, yet to be counted. They didn't begin the process of looking at them until yesterday, that those ballots and the ones that they may receive over the next several days.
So Donald Trump filing suit as we continue to wait for Joe Biden and the Biden campaign to say something. At some point soon, we're expecting to hear from them. We are still monitoring all sorts of different streams and ballots being counted. But now we are standing by for really a peanut gallery, a who's who of depraved, dilapidated, delusional dunces from the Trump campaign that are going to be telling us, we've got to stop counting ballots. They keep finding ballots and counting them. This must stop. Wait, what? Hold on. You find the ballots, right? Okay. And then you don't count them. Right. Yeah, you don't count them. You find them, then you throw them out. Why? Oh, I don't know. It's after Election Day and something, the mail. I don't know. This is not how you win on the merits. This is how you win with foul play. Okay? And so we're going to be watching all this very closely. Now, in the meantime, it should be noted that with 99% reporting, Michigan, which could be called today, Joe Biden is winning by 0.7. And as a reminder, Michigan alone does not seal the deal for Joseph R. Biden Jr. But if he were to get Michigan and then Nevada, it's over. You can throw Pennsylvania's results into the hypothetical, would be nice, but don't need it category. Same with North Carolina and Georgia. So Michigan, we are waiting on right now, and it is getting very close to full results. Some reports that we could get the full results today. Others suggesting that it might not be, maybe until tomorrow. So we just don't know. This isn't live, right?
He was going to fight.
No, okay, that's from yesterday. Just making sure we're not missing anything. Okay, good. All right, let's get caught up. New members, we are now at 29. That gives us +6. Where does +6 put us, though? +6 puts us at 73. We are counting Twitch. We were at 1655. We are now, oh my God, 1725 on Twitch. 1655, that's 45, 670. That 70 puts us at 143. Holy shit. That is nuts. Let's go back to a target of 304, since that's the number of electoral votes Trump won with back in 2016. Very much appreciate all of that support. We are standing by for, oh, hey, this is Kira Phillips. I know her. She's super nice. We met at an event once, as they call it. Right? This is Kira Phillips, I think. Can anybody confirm? No? I could probably tell from her voice. Hold on.
Out this quote, the president threatened to go to court to prevent the proper tabulation of votes. We are standing up to the biggest and most comprehensive legal effort ever assembled. This work could stretch on for weeks, so I'm coming to you to ask you to pitch $25 in to the newly formed Biden.
Trump wants $25 to stop the counting. Can you guys imagine? What a disgusting, disgusting turn of events. Okay. Craig Dunk says lawsuit in Michigan to halt ballot counting. Yeah, he's trying to stop ballot counting. It's very, very simple. It's extreme. There's no mystery as to the strategy here. And I don't know what happened with... Can somebody get me an update on the Biden event? They were supposed to speak at 2:30. It's almost 3:30 here in the East, and we've not heard from them. Does anybody have an idea? Anybody know? We're not sure. I would love an update on what's going on with the Biden stuff. They said 15 minutes, 10 minutes ago. I thought that was the Trump event, though. We'll have to keep monitoring all of them at this point. Very, very crazy stuff that is going on here. Mart Fillion says, hey, 58,000 new cases, but you were rounding the corner. Yeah, well, it's only a partial day, actually. Today, in terms of coronavirus, we have 58,000, but yesterday we had 94,000. Guys, 1,200 people died of coronavirus in the United States yesterday. And this is one of the things I talked about with Sam Cedar, which was there is no there seems to be a complete lack of connection between understanding things that happen and how our leaders relate to those things. And how if you don't like the things that happen with a leader, you would change the leader. That seems to be missing as a logical inference for a lot of different people. And meanwhile, they want to fire Fauci. Thanks for all the subs and gifts. I know I'm having trouble keeping up with anything. Squalor Goblin has gifted 10 subs on Twitch. And I do appreciate it. I apologize if I don't thank everybody. There's just a lot going on as we wait both for Joe Biden and a Trump cast of characters. We are expecting to hear from the Biden campaign and the Trump campaign all in the next 15 minutes, supposedly. Okay. So it was a Biden legal defense fund. That makes sense. If your opponent's trying to stop the counting of ballots with lawyers, you need some money. That's for sure. Yeah, I thought they were reading emails from the fundraising emails I've been getting from Trump, which are just hilarious. Stewart says, David, why do so many depraved Trump sycophants flock to your chat? Is this a case of Pacman derangement syndrome? Yeah, I want to say, I don't know why they're flocking, but I do want to say a little something about that. This is kind of a weird thing, but fortunately, I live in a state that is somewhat insulated from the depravity of Donald Trump. So while with things like foreign policy, the whole country is affected, with the U.S. being a laughingstock globally, the whole country is affected. Climate pollution doesn't respect state borders. In a lot of ways, I'm insulated from a lot of the things that Donald Trump does. And the truth is that my business will do better if Trump wins. That's the reality. So it's funny when all of these Trump clowns show up and they say, David, I can't wait to see you cry. And you're going to be it's like, the unfortunate truth or fortunate whatever is a lot of people may lose jobs if Trump wins. I expect that we will continue to grow very quickly if Donald Trump were to win. This really isn't about me. This is about other people. It's bad for the country. It's bad for people who have to go into a real job. I'm lucky enough not to have to do that. But it is absolutely absurd. The latest news is not only are legal mechanisms being proposed in Pennsylvania, the Trump campaign is now filing a lawsuit in Michigan to stop counting. Take a look.
Democrats and
Now, by the way, Biden's winning Michigan. If you stop counting now, Biden wins. Biden's winning, and Trump wants a lawsuit to stop counting.
Anyone who wants to observe can have access here, particularly to that adjudication process that I was talking about that is so critical here. So what we've seen today, transparency is the name of the game, Kate.
All right, Dasha Burns for us in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Dasha, thank you. We'll take a quick break here. We continue with Decision 2020 election coverage right after this.
All right, so lawsuits being filed there very, very strongly. This is Trump yesterday. It's not live. No need to cover it. We are standing by for a Trump. In fact, one thing I do want to do, let's just listen to this for a moment. I want to try to find specific streams for this weird Trump event.
Figure. you can ask someone 1,000 times who they're voting for, and they can assess whether or not it's safe for them to be honest. But once you're in front of, a polling location, you can make your decision the way that you see fit in the comfort of privacy. And I think that, for a lot of Democrats and for a lot of pollsters, they have to recognize that just because you don't like a candidate doesn't mean that other people don't like that candidate. I think that's a big indication. And then two, not to throw shade at the industry, but exit polls don't necessarily tell you the same thing that the polls.
Okay, so I found a video which this Trump event was scheduled for right now. It's scheduled for 1 minute from now. So hopefully we will hear that at some point relatively soon. We also are standing by for the Biden event, and we have cameras trained in a number of different states. Ballots are being counted in Philadelphia and other parts of Pennsylvania. Donald Trump is filing lawsuits. I guess let's reset if we can, because I see that there's a lot of new people joining us. If you are, by the way, if you're joining on YouTube, please do me the favor of hitting that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. It's free and you'll be notified about future streams. If you're joining on Twitch, make sure you're following me on Twitch. The news over the last couple of hours are that, first and foremost, overnight, both Wisconsin and Michigan shifted from red to blue. Wisconsin has now been called for Joe Biden, and Donald Trump is demanding a recount and has started fundraising for a recount there. Michigan is very close to counting every vote. But Donald Trump has filed a lawsuit there to stop the counting of votes, even though he's losing. I don't fully understand the approach. Nevada is reportedly done counting for the day. It's only noon in Nevada. I don't know why the hell they're not continuing to count, but they're not. And so far, today we got about 7-8 additional % of the vote there, and it remains a very slim margin for Joe Biden. We then still have Alaska counting votes, but it's going to go to Trump, not going to be a factor. Pennsylvania, continuing to count in Pennsylvania. Right now with 84% reporting, the margin is 6.5. It has been shrinking, although very, very slightly. North Carolina, nothing additional in North Carolina, still a 1.4% margin there. And then Georgia with 95% reporting, a 1.6 percentage point margin in Georgia. So really the focus is, can Biden get Michigan? Can Biden get Pennsylvania? Can Biden get Nevada? That would put him over. And in fact, we can go to that map. If Biden gets Michigan and Nevada, it's over. Okay. If Biden does not get Michigan, but gets Nevada and Pennsylvania, it would be over. If he doesn't get Nevada, but he gets Pennsylvania and Michigan, it would be over. If he doesn't get Pennsylvania, but he gets Michigan and North Carolina, it would be over. If he doesn't get Michigan, but gets Wisconsin, which he already has, North Carolina and, Pennsylvania. Sorry, hold on. If he doesn't get Pennsylvania, but he gets Michigan and North Carolina, it would also be over. So I think you guys understand kind of where we're going here. Of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 states remaining, essentially any two gets it, unless the two are Nevada and I think it was, Nevada and North Carolina would put him at 269. So Nevada, North Carolina would put him at 269. Any other combination of two states puts Joseph R. Biden Jr. at 270. So we are standing by for all of that information. Oh, beautiful. This is the Trump event. Let me explain to you guys what we have going on here, because this is going to, it looks like police escorts are arriving. This is going to be maybe one of the, probably short of Trump declaring a false victory last night, what you're about to see here is going to be a real treat for the history books. We're expecting some combination. This is Philadelphia. We're expecting some combination of Rudolph Giuliani, Eric Trump, not known as the smart one, as we lose the signal, maybe Jared Kushner, Corey Lewandowski expected to be here. They're going to show up and tell us why, why Pennsylvania's fraud or something. I don't even really understand what exactly they are going to tell us. We've just lost the feed. We are waiting to get it back. And we are also waiting for a Biden event, which was supposed to have started a little while ago. So hopefully this feed will come back very soon. We're going to keep an eye on it. And we're keeping an eye on another series of streams. So we will see that momentarily. Let me get updated numbers as far as our big membership day. We are now at +7 on website memberships, putting us at 150. 1758 is an additional 33 on Twitch, which puts us at 183. Yeah, as I know that we have a lot of new people who have found us over the last 24 hours, thanks to yesterday's election results live stream, and even this stream. I love that you're here. I hope you continue to check out our clips. We do clips every day and live streams many days. We are mostly funded independently. Okay, so the best way to do this is just go to my website, joinpacman.com, and grab a membership. This is not a lot of money. Oh, hold on a second. What am I talking about? We have a new coupon code, okay? We have a new coupon code, and this is if there's any attorneys general or law enforcement officers in the room, get them out, all right? Because we are now past the 2020 election, and I am considering this a fresh start, I have a new coupon code. This is a heretofore unannounced, okay? Fresh start. This is, red alert, Drudge, siren, GIF. Fresh start is 70% off. We've never had a coupon code like this, okay? If Trump thinks he can just stop voting, law has gone out the window, so I am offering an illegal discount, okay? I'm kidding that it's illegal. Some people actually write to me. They go, are these discounts really illegal? Like, which states are they illegal in? It's a joke, guys. It's just a joke. It's just a joke. But in all seriousness, I would love it if you grabbed a membership on my website. It comes with great perks. It feels good. And the coupon code Fresh Start, this has never been announced, okay? You guys are, you 80,000 people are the first to ever find out about this, will save you 70%. It is a lawless stream with an incredible, incredible discount. And I love that y'all are here, okay? Let me see what's going on as far as... Okay, we're standing by for Rudy Giuliani. We're standing by for Joe Biden. Both standing by, and we expect to hear ungodly, immoral things at this press briefing here. Kind of a weird location to even do it. I don't understand what they're doing. I really don't. I don't understand what they're doing. But they're going to explain to... Oh, Eric Trump's Twitter has something. Eric Trump Twitter. Let's see what Eric Trump is saying on Twitter. Apparently, Eric Trump has tweeted something about this event we are anticipating. Burning 80 Trump ballots. Okay, we have no idea what that is. Eric Trump tweeting, we have won Pennsylvania. Okay. I don't know what that's based on. We have won Pennsylvania. I think we need to respond. Yeah, we're not seeing that. We go, so I don't know. Do you guys think I should go by the Associated Press or by what Eric Trump tweets in terms of calling states? You let me know. Which do you recommend? Interesting. Biden 26. Okay, you don't want me going by Eric. That's fair. Okay. Okay, now with 8. Okay, so votes are actually coming in Pennsylvania. This is important. Votes are starting to come in Pennsylvania. And we are now at, according to the New York Times, Trump is plus 6.5. Oh, okay. So Trump's lead has gone from 6.9 to 6.5. That's important. 6.9, 6.5. A slight reduction in the lead there. And according to the Associated Press, They are at 6.4. Okay, so that's an even smaller lead. It is starting to shrink a little bit. It is starting to shrink a little bit in Pennsylvania, and Michigan's still stuck at 99% reporting. All right, that's very, very interesting. So we're standing by for Donald Trump here. Let's look at some other super chats that are coming in. John says, Joe's got this. Bernie is closer now. I don't know what that means. Everybody knows Eric Trump is the end-all for all things elections. Yes. A lot of people very much respect the predictive prowess of Eric Trump. They have microphones up already. I don't really understand why, but it seems as though there's kind of a commotion starting here, people looking around. Let's listen to the sweet sounds of Philadelphia. Guy with a shopping cart coming by. What's in this shopping cart? Boxes and boxes of something. And hopefully those aren't ballots. Can you imagine? That wouldn't be so good. All right. Yeah, we'll wait until this event actually starts. Okay, New York Times. Listen, guys, anybody wanting me to look at those New York Times needles? I just don't think that it's worth anything because they're flapping back and forth like, you know, a wet noodle in the wind. I just don't know that we get that much from them. Let's just count ballots. I think that's probably a better way to do it at this point in time. Okay. And, did Biden start? Let's see. No, we still don't even know what's going. The Biden event was supposed to be an hour ago. It's conceivable that the Biden campaign is waiting to see this abortive fiasco that we're about to witness before they do their press briefing. The fact that so many cameras and boom mics are coming over tells me we might be getting close to this. Aaron says Nevada's leaning blue and will be counting until Friday. Will Biden claim victory before then? Absolutely no idea. Absolutely no idea as far as that goes. We just have to wait. A lot of shenanigans going on for sure. Super Guy says, what can Biden do without the Senate if he wins? That's a question for later. That's a question for later. People telling me on Twitch to check C-SPAN. Are you telling me to check C-SPAN's C-SPAN's Twitter or C-SPAN's YouTube channel? What am I supposed to be looking at for C-SPAN? If anybody wants to let me know, I'm glad to check it, but I don't know. C-SPAN Twitch. Okay. No, okay. Uh-oh. People are telling me that the coupon code is not working on my website. Hold on. That can't possibly be. No, people are signing up with it. It's absolutely working. It's absolutely working. Oh my God, there's 650 people on my website. That is insane. No, but the coupon code is working really well. The coupon code's working very, very well. I'm told that there is that the Biden event, PBS has the Biden event. Let's see if we can find that. Scheduled for, okay, so PBS has the Trump event, but I'm looking for PBS Biden press briefing, and they have it. Not finding it, unfortunately. Here it is. Scheduled for 17 minutes from now. Very good. I always rather have an extra stream. You just never know. This is what's going on outside the Biden event, and PBS says we're 17 minutes from it, and here we're waiting for the Trump event. So a lot of different things going on, and we're just going to have to wait. We're just going to have to wait because we don't really know if they're trying to wait each other out or what is going on. I really don't know. Okay, update on some of these numbers. 122 would get us 14 shy of 100 is 86, which puts us at 269. Oh my God. And then Twitch at 1769 puts us at 280. So that's very, very solid. That's an extremely solid number. Okay, I've been told updated Michigan numbers. Let's take a look. Michigan numbers. Still 99% reporting. Oh, the lead has jumped to 1.1. This is actually important. Let's see if the New York Times numbers match that. Michigan. The Michigan numbers don't seem to have been updated yet. So there was about a 37,000 vote lead in Michigan, according to the Associated Press. I have to tell you, the Associated Press has just been absolutely spot on. They have a vote update. They have now Joe Biden leading by 1.1. Theoretically, that puts it outside of recount territory. If it's greater than 1%, the lead has expanded to 61,000 votes. This is very, very good news out of Michigan. Now, the Trump campaign has filed a lawsuit to stop the counting of votes in Michigan. It seems stupid because you're losing right now. It seems if you're losing, you want to keep counting votes. But right now, I don't know that they have any other ideas. So that's what they're doing. And then the latest numbers from Pennsylvania have shrunk the lead to 5.9. Guys, every time Pennsylvania updates, the lead shrinks. 45 minutes ago, the lead for Trump in Pennsylvania was 6.9. 15 minutes ago, the lead in Pennsylvania for Trump was 6.5. And now another 15 minutes later, the lead in Pennsylvania for Trump is down to only 5.9. And importantly, this is only with 2% more of the vote being counted in the last 45 minutes. Really, really important. Okay, really, really important numbers there. Let's see what the New York Times has now for Pennsylvania. They still have it at the 6.5 I just mentioned. It seems the Times is a little bit behind where the Associated Press is. So these are really important numbers, really, really important numbers as we wait to hear some So understand the scene that's going on right now. Trump jumps out to a lead in Pennsylvania, and then we hear last night they're not counting any more mail-in votes until today. We look and Philadelphia's only half counted. Pittsburgh's only half counted. We predict a lot of those are going to go in the direction of Biden. Today, Philadelphia starts counting ballots, and the lead for Trump shrinks from 6.9 to 6.5 to 5.9. Giuliani and Eric Trump and others are literally rushing to the city of Philadelphia to try to stop what is going on. This is what they're doing. This is their strategy to try to win this thing. It is like nothing we have seen before. Like nothing we have seen before. Okay. Let me hear from a few of our folks watching on Twitch. Let's see messages that have come in. Oh, none of the recent Twitch subs actually have said anything. Okay. Right, Pennsylvania may not be necessary. That I think that's important just to remind people. If you get Michigan and Nevada, you don't need Pennsylvania. You don't need North Carolina. You don't need Georgia. Very important point. But right now, you don't have Michigan and you don't have Nevada. But even if you get Pennsylvania, you still need something else. But right now, you have nothing. Georgia and North Carolina have not been called, as you can see here. Now, people asking if they're still up in the air. Depends what you mean by up in the air. We are still at a 1.4% margin in North Carolina. We are at a 1.6% margin in Georgia. They're certainly not the most likely paths for Joe Biden. Nevada is done counting for the day, as a very important reminder. Crowd really gathering here. It looks like people are starting to take pictures. Let's see what's going on. There's a ton of screaming, but I don't know if these are protesters or if the actual participants in this event have shown up. It's not clear to me. It sounds like I know people that are just joining are like, what the hell is going on? Some Trump campaign officials are rushing to Philadelphia to argue, I guess, that all counting of ballots should stop in Pennsylvania. And the reason they're doing that is that with every tranche of absentee ballots counted, the lead for Donald Trump is shrinking in Pennsylvania, and they're very, very panicked. Now, what they may or may not know is that if Biden gets Michigan and Nevada, he doesn't even need Pennsylvania, but they're trying to deal with Nevada by filing a lawsuit there as well. So this is a Trump campaign. You know, guys, a lot of my predictions are trash. I mean, a lot of my predictions are literal trash that you can just throw out and ignore. But I said on Monday, Biden's not getting 353 electoral votes, and Biden is not looking like he's going to get 353 electoral votes. I said Monday that Trump would go up to a lectern and claim victory even if he hadn't won. That's exactly what Donald Trump did last night. I said that Trump would file lawsuits and use lawyers and go to courts to try to win. That is exactly what Donald Trump is doing right now. And it was no special insight on my part. It was that they were telling us this is what they were going to do. They said, we can't allow this, we can't allow that, and here's how we're going to prevent it. So it was not, I'm not Nostradamus here, or Nostradamus, whichever is your preference. These were just very, very, they were telling us that this is what they were going to do. All right. Okay. For people who are joining and wondering what the plan is going to be by the way, I'm sure they're going to clear out all these protesters before Giuliani and whoever else get here. For anybody who's wondering the streaming plan for the rest of the week, I have no idea. It's just going to be dictated by the news cycle more than anything else. So what I would suggest is if you're watching on Facebook, give us a like. If you're watching on Twitch, give us a follow. If you're watching on YouTube, give us a free subscribe. Hit that. I need you destroying that subscribe button because then you'll be notified when we go live. More and more police showing up. So it's conceivable something is going to happen, although we still really don't know what. Some of the boom mics are coming down. Some of the cameras are now pointed at different places. We really don't know who's showing up, when they're showing up, and where they're going to show up from. We're also standing by for Joe Biden at the top of the hour. Again, we see a motorcade. I guess we think that this is the Biden motorcade arriving for this event. But we saw this early. It's really unclear what is happening right now. Let's see what the major networks are talking about. Stocks. Joe Biden expected to give remarks shortly. We will cover that. And Wisconsin now given, of course, to Joseph R. Biden Jr. So we're watching all of it. I would love it if Sacha Baron Cohen showed up here as one of his various characters. I think that would really be amazing. That would be fantastic. Other super chats that are coming in. If you scroll down the New York Times map, it shows the course of percentage changes very nicely. You can see Pennsylvania closing in. Okay, let's take a look at that. That would be interesting to see. Pennsylvania, full Pennsylvania results. What's been reported? Absentee, state Senate, state House, other races. I'm not seeing that. Absentee ballots. Do I have to do full race results? Maybe it's here. Results by county. Here it is. Oh, yes. Okay. This is a beautiful graph. Yeah, that's interesting. So the lead got very big as they had counted about 60%, which is where they stopped yesterday. And then now it's just shrinking. That's very interesting data. The latest update now has this at a 5.5. The lead has shrunk again. Guys, we are still at 85% reporting. And the lead has now gone from 5.9 to 5.5. 5.9 to 5.5. Rudy Giuliani is driving in a vehicle right now, trying to get as quickly as he can. It's like a 50s Cadillac with the huge, he's trying to get to Philadelphia, and the lead is evaporating as Rudy Giuliani approaches Philadelphia. It's unbelievable what we are seeing right now. And that's why we're standing by for this press conference very soon and expecting to hear from Joe Biden it's crazy what's going on. Yeah, Rudy shouldn't even be driving. He really shouldn't. I completely agree with that. Paula McCullough says, thank you for holding my hand through this, David. Always enjoyed your content, but this election coverage has won me as a subscriber and a member. Thank you. Yeah, Toby points out, by the time Trump's lawyers stop the counting, Biden might be in the lead. Hurry to Philadelphia. That it's a cartoonish situation. With every 15 minutes, Trump is closer to tied, losing the edge, and they're trying to get there as soon as possible. Papa Ra says, glued to my TV watching this drama unfold, thinking of all of you up here in Canada. Tim says, let's not overlook the fact that 66 million Americans voted for a wannabe authoritarian dictator. Don't worry. We are not overlooking that fact. We are not overlooking that fact. Don't worry about that. Love the imagery of Rudy riding to save the day. Thanks, David. Scotland for Biden checking in. Okay. Biden people better be hot on Trump's goons' tails. They should be behind or in front of every step that Trump's thugs are trying. Show force. Yes, I agree. Riots in Michigan. Trump supporters trying to break into the place where they are counting. That can't be true. Let's see. Michigan, Trump supporters break into polling, counting. If people actually have a news article about that, tell me where to find it. Oh, people are saying it is true. Oh my God. What Twitter account can I find that? That's insane. Can somebody tell me what the Twitter account I can find that? Stephen Merchant. Hold on. This is getting crazy. Patterson NBC. Okay, let me look at that. Twitter.com, Patterson NBC. Let's take a look. Steve Patterson. Let's see what Steve has for us via Twitter. Large animated crush of Stop the Count protesters trying to push their way into TCF Hall in Detroit where ballots are being counted. They're being blocked by guards. Pizza boxes pushed against the window. Wow. The group claims to be poll or election challengers, claiming there aren't enough nonpartisan challengers inside. Holy jeez. We've got to retweet that. Okay. As Trump files a lawsuit to stop counting votes in Michigan, Stop the Count protesters are trying to break in and wreak havoc. Whoa. What a situation. Wow. It's starting, guys. It's starting. Now, are those people considered violent protesters by police? Are they going to get tear gassed and whatnot? Because that would be pretty wild. Okay. Standing by for Joe Biden. Standing by for a Trump event. Standing by for Joe Biden. Standing by for a Trump event. Waiting on both here. Russell says Nevada election officials say they may update the results this afternoon. That would be great. That would be great. We had gotten word that Nevada was not counting anymore today. And indeed, it appears that they are going to. Somehow we've matched our audience from last night. We're back up to 83,000 viewers on YouTube. Unbelievable. I did not imagine we would beat last night, but it is happening. Nothing new from Nevada yet, but it would be great if we got some data from them. Latest numbers from Pennsylvania, still a 5.5% lead for Donald Trump. It has been tightening a little bit at a time, but still 5.5, plus 5.5 for Donald Trump. And the tightening is why we are expecting to see some members of the Trump campaign here very soon. We are also waiting for Joe Biden. I don't know which of these events is going to happen first. I can tell you which is going to be more unhinged, but I can't tell you which of the events is going to happen first. And the margin in Michigan, I'm told, has also crept up. I'm still seeing 1.1. Let's refresh and see. Still seeing a 1.1% margin in Michigan. Let's see if the New York Times has it differently. The New York Times now has a 1.2% margin in Michigan. So Michigan is starting to get away from Donald Trump. Not quickly, but when you're at close to 100% and Michigan says they expect to have everything counted today or tomorrow, that is a big deal. That is a really, really big deal. Okay, getting very close to hearing from Joe Biden. Scheduled for the top of the hour. There's no voice now, right? No, okay. All right, so we should be hearing from Joe Biden very soon. Blob says, thanks for the hard work you put into your channel every day. You're making a real and positive impact on adding clarity in journalism. My family and I are huge fans and longtime supporters from Toronto. Thank you. William, happy to be with us from the UK. Oliver, ashamed that it is this close. Check my last chat for a new member goal suggestion. Okay. Let's see. Where is it? If you get to 304, next should be 420 to celebrate marijuana's victory yesterday, which now allows residents to get high enough to forget they live in New Jersey on purpose. That's a brutal attack on Jersey. I don't like that. We appreciate all of our viewers from Jersey. Okay, still standing by for Joe Biden. Still standing by for some Trump henchmen here in Philadelphia. Who knows when they will arrive? Jan says if Trump loses, or Jan, if Trump loses, no, it must be Jan because it's euros. If Trump loses, he will call his supporters to the weapons to claim the vote and protect their dictator. What do you think? I think this will come. I hope not. I'm scared of the violence. I am. Aurelio says, can you talk a little bit about what could happen to the pandemic relief package with a Biden presidency and a Republican Senate? Obstruction is what I would predict, but let's wait. Let's wait on that. Let's wait until we really know for sure. Adam says, greetings from the Czech Republic, rooting for you guys. Hang in there, wishing your country a peaceful transfer of power. Thank you. Liam says, I can't believe this is happening. Feels like we're in a movie. Essential says, Gary Peters took the lead over John James. He may save his Senate seat from takeover. I saw that, and that would be absolutely huge. That would be absolutely huge. And we're hoping that it happens. David, what's your take on Sharpiegate in Arizona? A bunch of people claiming voter fraud in Arizona. Yeah, the claim was that some people were tricked into using a Sharpie, which the machine didn't read. From what I've read, the machine read it just fine. So I'm reading that it's a fake story, a false story. Let's see if we have Biden yet. No, everything just very delayed today. Very, very delayed. CBS doesn't have anything for us. NBC doesn't have anything for us. And ABC doesn't have anything for us either. The two big events right now are these two. Philadelphia with some Trump henchmen and then a Biden event in... I actually don't know where they are. Does anybody know where the Biden event is? Is it in Delaware maybe? I'm not even sure. Okay, yeah, we're not exactly sure. Okay, Twitch mods, we've got a bunch of people that need to get banned. Twitch mods, please be aware that there is some trash happening. A lot of trash happening on Twitch. We do need a few ban hammers there. Appreciate it. Jeremiah says, whoa, where'd that go? Jeremiah says, Dave, love listening to the show every day. Great to hear non-biased news from someone I could happily sit down and have a beer with. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Tarun says, how can people try to stop counting? Do they have any legitimate legal argument for this blatant attempt at voter suppression? We will see. I never pretend to know what courts will do, particularly when many of those courts are run by people Trump selected. I am noticing that the Trump people in both Twitch and YouTube chat are getting more violent in their rhetoric, including towards me. And I worry that this is a sign of what may be to come. If Trump keeps falling behind but insists that he has won, I mean, it's just like, just in my chat, the violent rhetoric has gone completely out of control. So I think we all need to be very, very aware of that and planning on how to stay safe. Very, very important. Very important, because they're getting very violent. We're seeing it. We're seeing it even in the chat. Michigan, still waiting on numbers from Michigan and Pennsylvania. Nothing new. Very, very slow numbers coming in from PA. We also heard a rumor that there may be more numbers coming out of Nevada this afternoon, although we don't yet know. And then, of course, Georgia and North Carolina, we are still waiting on. Extremely slow there, as we stand by for both representatives of both candidates. Will I ever be on Love or Host? Maybe. Austin and I DM all the time. He's actually a big follower of politics. And yeah, we're very much in touch. Okay, let me get an updated new member count. We are now at 247. That's another 125, which puts us at 405. Wow. And then on Twitch, we're at 1799, which is another 83, which puts us at 488. Incredible. Incredible. Let's go. We can't even do 420 because we're already past it. Let's go back to 750. One member or sub for every $1 that Donald Trump paid in federal taxes during many years. And if you're just joining us, we had a big event happen earlier. 2020 now as a coupon code is done. The 2020 election is over. The 2020 coupon code is done. New coupon code. Did I spell it correctly? I did. Fresh Start. 70% off. Coupon code Fresh Start on my website. 70% off. And over 100 people already availing themselves of it, which is incredible. Okay. Okay, we'll do 538 first. The new goal is 538, the number of electoral votes. Yes, indeed. Let's turn the volume up here so we hear if anything starts, and we'll keep the video here. We don't know when this is actually going to start. If they don't start this soon, it's actually going to start getting dark on the East Coast. That's what's insane. This Trump event is so delayed that the sun is going to start setting if they don't actually start this event at some point, and it's insane that it still hasn't started. What else? Olu says best president for black people since Abe Lincoln. 10% of the black vote. Yeah. Hey, that's more than 8%. Thanks for being you, says About Three Pandas. Jacob says, David, if the map stays the way it is and Biden wins by 1, should we worry about faithless electors? Yes, but we will cross that bridge when we come to it. I think that that's the way to keep calm right now, is we only cross these bridges when we come to them. Biden going live. Yeah, we know. We're monitoring it. I have the audio turned up, so we should be able to hear it. David, love your work. Can you explain how people can vote for the corrupt Republicans even though they were exposed in their debate? I have a segment on today's podcast about that. For people who are just stumbling across my channel, my main thing is actually not live streaming. It's doing a daily hour show. And you can get that podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Pandora, Spotify, and all sorts of different places. And I encourage you to do that. Put the show in your pocket. If you're someone who leaves your house right now during the pandemic, a great thing to do. We are on all of those platforms. And a big thank you to Completed Defiance, who has just gifted 50 subscriptions. 50 Twitch subs have been gifted by Completed Defiance. An extremely, extremely strong situation. PBS News is now covering the Biden event. CBS, not yet. NBC, not yet. And ABC, not yet. But we are covering it. We are standing by. We are expecting to hear from Joe Biden really soon, and we're expecting a propaganda event from Rudy Giuliani also very, very soon. So a lot is happening there. What else do we have going on? Did I? Yes. People asking if I had coffee this morning after the long night. I did. In fact, I know that this is not the most important thing, but if you follow me on Instagram, and you really should, you would have seen my failed latte art cappuccino in front of my computer this morning, bright and early, back at it, looking at the numbers. As you can see, the numbers have changed since. Oh, the podcast is called The David Pakman Show, for people asking. The numbers have already changed, but I was right back at it, did get some sleep, and a lot of coffee content, slow-mo elements of espresso, really strong crema game, as you can see. Beautiful crema, in fact. And even insert visible during some of these. So a lot happening over on Instagram. But in all seriousness, yes, we wrapped up at about noon, and then I'm sorry, not noon, midnight. Wrapped up about midnight. I was asleep by about 1:15, and back at the desk, not this desk, my office desk, at about 7:30. Okay, Biden is starting, I am told. Let's see if any of these feeds have them. Here we go.
Thanking the press for being here and thanking everyone else. My fellow Americans, yesterday once again proved that democracy is
double audio. Hold on.
This nation, just as it has been the heartbeat of this nation for 2 centuries. And even in the face of a pandemic, more Americans voted this election than ever before in American history. Over 150 million people cast their votes. I think that's just extraordinary. And if we had any doubts, we shouldn't have any longer about a government of, by, and for the people. It's very much alive in America. Here, the people rule. Power can't be taken or asserted. It flows from the people. And it's their will that determines who will be the president of the United States, and their will alone.
Not Rudy.
And now, after a long night of counting, it's clear that we're winning enough states to reach 270 electoral votes.
Wow, it's huge that Biden is saying this.
I'm not here to declare that we've won, but I am here to report that when the count is finished, we believe we will be the winners. With all the votes counted, we have won Wisconsin by 20,000 votes, virtually the same margin that President Trump won that state 4 years ago.
True.
In Michigan, we lead by over 35,000 votes.
Now 61,000.
A substantially bigger margin than President Trump won Michigan in 2016. Michigan will complete its vote soon, maybe as early as today. And I feel very good about Pennsylvania. Virtually all the remaining ballots to be counted were cast by mail.
It just tightened again.
And we've been winning 70% of the votes by mail in Pennsylvania. We've flipped Arizona and the 2nd District of Nebraska. Of special significance to me is that we've won with the majority of the American people. And every indication is that that majority will grow. We have a popular vote lead of nearly 3 million votes.
True.
And every indication is that will grow as well. Indeed, Senator Harris and I are on track to win more votes than any ticket in the history of this country.
True.
That ever won the presidency and vice presidency. Over 70 million votes. I'm very proud of our campaign. Only 3 presidential campaigns in the past have defeated an incumbent president. When it's finished, God willing, we'll be the 4th. This is a major achievement. This is a major achievement. And it's been a long and difficult campaign, but it's been a more difficult time for our country, a hard time. We've had hard campaigns before. We've faced hard times before. So once this election is finalized and behind us, it'll be time for us to do what we've always done as Americans, to put the harsh rhetoric of the campaign behind us, to lower the temperature, to see each other again, to listen to one another, to hear each other again, and respect and care for one another, to unite, to heal, to come together as a nation. I know this.
Notice he's not demanding votes not be counted. He's not accusing anybody of fraud. He's not saying anybody's stealing anything.
Views are in our country on so many things. But I also know this as well. To make progress, we have to stop treating our opponents as enemies. We are not enemies.
Wow.
What brings us together as Americans is so much stronger than anything that can tear us apart. So let me be clear. We are campaigning as a Democrat, but I will govern as an American president.
Hey, I just have to tell you guys, I'm so pleased with our moderators. Someone in Twitch chat just started making bogus cheating claims, which are not found, and we're taking that very seriously. I went to ban them, and a second before I did, one of our moderators already banned them. I love it.
Precisely what I will do. I will work as hard for those who didn't vote for me as I will for those who did vote for me. Now, every vote must be counted. No one's going to take our democracy away from us. Not now, not ever. America's come too far. America's fought too many battles. America's endured too much to ever let that happen. We, the people, will not be silenced. We, the people, will not be bullied. We, the people, will not surrender. My friends, I'm confident we'll emerge victorious. But this will not be my victory alone or our victory alone. It'll be a victory for the American people, for our democracy, for America.
This is good.
And there will be no blue states and red states when we win, just the United States of America. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops.
Now, just for comparison, guys, here's Donald Trump last night, okay? Hold on, where did I have this? Oh, dear God, where was it? Hold on. Oh, no. Oh, I don't have it. Anyway, I was going to bring you Trump claiming to have won last night. Very, very well said by Joe Biden. He didn't insult anybody. It was a conciliatory message of unity. He did not claim victory, but says he believes that they have a path there and that ultimately they will be victorious. I mean, just this is what you say. You're not threatening anybody. You're not suing anybody. You're not doing any of that stuff. Next, we go to a planned event involving the Trump campaign trying to stop the counting of votes. I mean, it's, could this be any different? Could we be dealing with any different of a situation here? And we are soon going to be seeing that. Okay, let me look at the latest numbers out of Philadelphia. Whoa, things got a little crazy here. Let me go back to all states. Wait, Alabama, all states. There we go. The latest numbers in Pennsylvania, with another sliver counted, are 6.83. The lead is now down to 5.3. This is again as small as the lead has been. And in fact, the New York Times has this very interesting thing, which one of our viewers told me about, which actually tells you full race results, how the lead has changed over time. And look at that. That is exactly what we are seeing. Let me see if I can zoom in on that. A little bit phallic, actually. It's interesting, but it is what it is. I can't control that. As you can see, as the ballot counting resumed this morning, the lead has shrunk. They have it at 83%. In fact, when you look at the Associated Press data, they are at 86% reporting, and the lead is now just 5.3. So that is a real change there in terms of what we are seeing. Okay. CNN has just projected Michigan for Joseph R. Biden Jr. Michigan has been projected for Joseph R. Biden Jr. Let's see if anybody else is doing so as well. Let me see if I can find us a CNN live stream. CNN live stream. Even without, I could always log into my, it's a little risky, but I could log into my cable and we could watch it that way. But let's just take a look at what we've got. CNN reportedly calling Michigan. Let's take a look. Standing by for CNN.
Tells you why we make this projection right now. And
wow.
Through and watch this. It's an impressive win in the sense that Wayne County, 85% of the vote in, Joe Biden running ahead. So we pull out to the bigger map and we look at it this way, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, this could be close to it.
Donald Trump won those 3. He's leading in Pennsylvania right now. I just hope you can pull this off, Wolf, just so people see. You see the map right now? I just turned off the states that we have not called: Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia, Alaska, Arizona, and Nevada. The key point is all Joe Biden needs now to get to 270 is this one and this one. And as we count the votes throughout the day, he's leading in both of them. That would be the difference.
Let's take a look at those two.
Okay, so let's get away from CNN because they tend to be relatively litigious. Let's see if anybody else is calling Michigan. Here's Nate Silver. Let's see.
1,000 group of votes that is still out there.
So it's not a crazy.
Let's briefly talk about actually, let's listen. Yeah.
You had kind of a red shift among mail votes in Arizona. Democrats sent their votes in early. GOP votes came in later. If you kind of squint and look at the math in a certain way, it just might turn it into a tie for Trump. But the problem is that Biden overperforms the party registration numbers in Arizona because you have a lot of ancestral John McCain Republicans who are now swing voters. You have a lot of independents who are now Democrats in name only. So
the question here, guys, is about Arizona. The Associated Press has called Arizona. Now, let me ask you guys. Not everybody has called Arizona. Associated Press has been perfect. Are you guys in agreement that we go with Arizona because AP has called it and they've been perfect and have not had to go back on anything? One person says no. Most people say yeah, that Arizona is just in. Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with that. So, understanding that CNN has called Michigan, but the Associated Press has not. I don't believe ABC has. Let's see. North Carolina has not called it. And CBS has not called it. CNN has now called Michigan. If we give Biden Michigan, just theoretically, if Biden gets Michigan, he now needs any other state to win. Okay? This would put Joe Biden at 264. If Nevada comes in, that means Biden has got it. Hold on a second. If Pennsylvania comes in, that means Joe Biden has got it. If North Carolina comes in, that means Joe Biden has got it. And if Georgia were to happen, although I don't see it, although some people are telling me it could, that it's going to happen. I am told that Decision Desk HQ has also called Michigan for Biden. I'm pretty comfortable then. If we have a Michigan call from CNN and from Decision Desk, I think that Michigan's done. I think that Michigan's done. Of course, the reaction from Donald Trump, immediately file suit in Michigan to stop the counting. Okay, something is happening at the Trump event. We're expecting to hear from Trump very, very soon. I think we have some kind of update here from Nevada as we wait here. Although Nevada's Secretary of State said no further results would be reported Wednesday in order to give breathing room to tally remaining ballots, Northern Nevada's Washoe County does plan to announce an update on Wednesday. Okay, that's good. We will keep an eye out for that. Let me see if I can find us some other stream for this Trump event, because it's going to be completely unhinged. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at 92,000 concurrent viewers on YouTube. This has never happened before. We have breached 100,000 live concurrent viewers in total. We have 8,000 people watching on Twitch. We have 91,000 on YouTube and another 3,000 on Facebook. 100,000 live viewers. Thank you to everybody. I'm shocked by what's going on. I thought yesterday's stream would be by far the best, but we are even ahead of that right now. Appreciate everybody being here with me. Trump, Philadelphia. Let's see if we can find this. Another stream. We are on the Yahoo Finance event. There is a global news event. Let me see what they have. If you have a message for me that you'd like to get up on the screen, you can send it via Super Chat if you're watching on YouTube, or via Twitch sub if you're watching on Twitch. I am really not finding any other reliable streams here for this Trump event. Imagine if they cancel it because they realize that it's looking very bad. I would be interested to see that. Yeah, I'm not finding any. If somebody can tell me some other YouTube channel that has this Trump event, I would like to find it. Trump press conference. I'm just not seeing anybody else carrying it live. Just Yahoo Finance, and presumably some of these others will carry it live as well, although they've not. Oh God, let's listen to what Chris Christie's saying.
What the result will be, who knows? But what we know is that we're not asking. I don't want people to misunderstand.
Oh, this is good.
The president's not saying through these lawsuits, don't count any more votes, leave it where it is. What he's saying is, if you want to, we don't want any more votes counted until we can have representatives there watching to make sure the count is on the up and up. And I think that would be something that the Biden campaign, if they're being reasonable, wouldn't disagree about.
Okay, we're going to see a lot more vote coming in today. We expect more votes coming in from Michigan. We expect more votes coming in from Pennsylvania, and probably the remaining votes from Arizona as
Okay, I'm being told that now that the AP has called Michigan. I still don't see it on their map. I do see people telling me AP has called Michigan, not yet reflected on the map. CNN has called it. We now have Michigan over on the Biden side as we stand by for what is now a black screen coming to us from what was supposed to be a major Trump event. They were going to be brutally explaining why everything is unfair everywhere and Trump really won. But right now they are just sending us a black screen. We'll turn the audio up there so that we are able to keep an eye on that. Very, very important. Okay, if you're just joining us, we are looking at the latest data coming in. The big news over the last 4 hours is that Joe Biden has won Wisconsin, and multiple networks have called Michigan for Joe Biden as well. Okay, that is the news. We don't have anything new from Pennsylvania other than the margin has tightened. In fact, let's get some updated news. Still at 5.3 with 86% reporting. You know, it's not totally clear to me that Biden will win. He's got to start making up ground. I mean, basically, so there's 14% to go, and Biden needs 5.3. So it means that for every percentage of the vote that's counted, Biden needs to close the gap by about 0.4. That's like really rough math. And I don't know if that's possible, but they've got to count everything. In North Carolina, nothing new, still a 1.4% gap with 94% reporting. In Georgia, still at 96% with 1.6 separating the candidates. And then Nevada, nothing new, although we are expecting maybe a little bit more data coming out of Nevada. Now the Trump campaign event supposedly has ended. I need you guys to help me figure this out. Did they cancel? Did they change their mind? Did they cancel it because Michigan was called? Is that a possibility? Michigan now being called by NBC News. Very, very strong call. If anybody can tell me what is going on with that event, excuse me, I'm just going to look down and check my Twitter.
Away from being able to get to that magic number that he needs. One of the lovely features of the wall that we've been playing with, I call it the Kornacki. I got a Kornacki on my laptop. Once we get down to a certain number of states, it will tell you how many paths to victory there are. And so based on the states that have been claimed so far, based on the NBC News projections, by our mathematically,
huge.
Joe Biden has 7 paths to victory. President Trump has 3. And there's one circumstance under which they could tie, Lord Jesus. They would tie if Joe Biden won Georgia and Donald Trump won everything else, they would be tied. And we would need a hug right around here because this race would go on and on and on. But Joe Biden could win it with just Pennsylvania. So that makes what we're going to hear from the Trump campaign, what we've heard from them today, and what we will hear even more essential. If they take Georgia and North Carolina, Joe Biden wins. Georgia and pretty much any of the other states that are outstanding.
Okay,
Your
that's
path
something else.
also, Mark, as you mentioned, Arizona and Nevada is a
So,
path.
guys, I'm finding nothing about whether the event has been canceled. That was, guys, I apologize. That was an old Trump event from September 3rd. You don't worry. You're not missing anything. Okay, let's see. I'm being sent a tweet here. Let me take a look at this tweet and see what this is about. A state court in Pennsylvania has rejected a legal complaint brought by Republicans in Pennsylvania who objected that they were not given a good enough chance to observe the opening and sorting of ballots, Pete Williams reports. That's from 7 minutes ago. This may explain if indeed the event has been canceled, the Trump event has been canceled. That may well be why. As at this point, it does not seem as though that event is going to be happening. Guys, this is just wild. This is absolutely wild that this is what's going on. It really is incredible. What a mess. What an absolute mess. Yahoo Finance still live in Philadelphia, I am being told. Okay, maybe they have a new event. Maybe they ended one, but they're going to go to a new one. Trump, Philadelphia. Yahoo Finance. Okay, they are live again. All right, so let's take a look at that. If they're doing it, I definitely want to cover it. Oh, okay, they're still there. Wow, all right, very good. So that is happening. All right, in that case, let's keep it here. I'm going to refill my water and take a just very brief break, and then we can get back to this, and hopefully this event is going to start. All right, so let's stand by very strong. Then we'll go for 100,000 on YouTube if everybody doesn't leave. Guys, I want to remind you, I want to remind you that Eric Trump, Kayleigh McEnany, and Rudy Giuliani, they have all called Pennsylvania for themselves. Okay, they've said, we've won. We've won Pennsylvania. Presumably this event is still scheduled because you have a bunch of people standing around. This is not live, right? Okay, this is interesting. So is this event, is there an event that's happening or not? At this point, I'm not even really sure. Let me take a look. I think it is not. I think we can safely say at this point, it is not happening. Trump, Philadelphia. Is anybody live? Trump campaign officials speak in Philadelphia. Now this news stream simply says this event has ended. Oh, I think now this is just rebroadcasting the Yahoo Finance. Trump makes statements as ballots being counted live. That seems to be a non-starter altogether. So that is not happening. Oh, they moved the event. Can somebody tell me where they have moved the event to? And if somebody can tell me that, I would love to know that, because at this point, it's anyone's guess. It's anyone's guess what it is that is going on here. They've moved it to Mars. Yeah, that's a possibility. The margin has narrowed to 5.2 in Pennsylvania. Let's look at that. We're watching Pennsylvania really, really closely. Now with 86% reporting, the margin is down to 5.2. Over the last 4% of counted ballots, the margin has been reduced from 6.9 to 4.2. I'm sorry, 5.2. That is a significantly lower margin. Okay, people saying that the Trump event is on Fox News. Let's take a look at that. Fox News Live and see what we've got there. Fox News Live. Not seeing it there. Let me see how I can do this. I should be able to get us Fox News Live. I can probably pull this up in a very particular way. Watch Fox News Online. On air now. And Fox News. Let's take a look here. And
for your guy or knock out enough votes of the other guy to change the outcome. It's hard work. It's challenging work. There's a road to victory for the Trump campaign, but let's not have any.
All right, hold on a second here.
Got it. Time to pre-final word, John. You great catching up with you as well. Thank you guys very, very much. We'll see how this goes. Taking a look right now at this presser. Is it starting, guys? It looks like it is.
Oh, here we go.
All right, let's dip into this and see what they.
Oh my God, this is insane.
Who is speaking there? Just some of the top campaign officials.
We came to Pennsylvania today to meet with our legal teams.
Oh, this is rich.
Clear to us, and we've declared victory in Pennsylvania. We're up by 400,000 votes, with 86% of the precincts in. 86%. We have Republican votes still coming in from Trump country, and the Democrats know that the only way that they could win this election is to cheat in Pennsylvania. And we've seen it from day one. We've
just count to 100%.
Ballots in drainage ditches. They're not letting our poll watchers watch the polls. They're not letting them inside. There's video after video of them passing out collateral material in polling sites all over Philadelphia. They're trying to cheat. They're trying to cheat. They have 3x5 printed big posters in polling locations all over the city saying to vote
3x5?
Biden and Harris, which is totally illegal. They're passing out flyers. The supervisors of elections, we have them on video, certain ones wearing literally Biden-Harris face masks in polling locations, which is totally illegal. And now they won't let, and we brought one great gentleman here with us today, Jeremy, who's a poll watcher down at the convention center. They won't even let him watch as they count the ballots. They put them behind a fence 40, 50 yards away where they actually can't see the counting happening.
What the
hell?
hell?
This is fraud. This is absolute fraud. We've seen it in Philadelphia before. They're trying to make a mockery of the election of this country.
Hey, how about we just count to 100%, guys?
Votes in this state with 86% reported and plenty of red counties left to go. Plenty of red counties left to go. we're going to win Pennsylvania. But they're trying to cheat us out of it because they know it's their only path to victory.
Does anyone understand how they're cheating?
So we came here today. We met with all our lawyers. We are going to file suit in Pennsylvania.
Against who?
It's a shame that we have to do that. It's the last thing that we wanted to do. It's the last thing my father wanted to do. But this is rampant corruption, and it can't happen. It simply
Who's
can't
corrupt?
happen. It's not fair. This isn't democracy. And with that, I want to pass it off to the great Rudy Giuliani, who's really leading the legal effort, and you'll be hearing from Rudy quite a bit. Please.
He'll be giving an exclusive to a reporter named Tutar later today.
It is very, very sad that we're here in the city that's really the birthplace of our democracy. And this is among one of the most anti-democratic things I've ever seen or encountered. And it's not just here in Philadelphia. This is going on all over the country. We have filed a lawsuit. The lawsuit actually required that when these mail-in ballots that you know are highly suspicious anyway.
Yeah, just by nature.
Balloting has always been considered the most prone to fraud. That's according to the New York Times when it didn't apply to candidate President Trump.
This wouldn't even be allowed on Twitter because it's disinformation.
By law to observe the counting of the ballots. Now, observe means to any intelligent person being able to look at it. The way it's interpreted by the Democrat crooked machine of Philadelphia is that the observers can be 20 or 30 feet away, never able to see the ballot itself, never able to see if it was properly postmarked, properly addressed, properly signed on the outside. All the things that often lead to disqualification of ballots or make it very easy to dump 50,000 totally fraudulent ballots because they're not observed.
Anybody following this?
This went on for 20 hours while all of you thought there was some kind of legitimate count going on here in Philadelphia.
It's like Obamagate.
Totally illegitimate. So we went back to court and we went before a Democrat judge. No need to tell you what the result in Philadelphia is if you're before a Democrat judge. Obviously a political hack who doesn't know the meaning of the word observe. Observe means to be able to look. Not a single Republican has been able to look at any one of these mail ballots.
This is as convincing as Obamagate.
We're concerned. Or they could be from the Democratic National Committee. Joe Biden could have voted 50 times, as far as we know, or 5,000 times.
This is dangerous.
From Camden. Philadelphia, unfortunately, and I would say this about my own city, has a reputation for voter fraud. You have a reputation for dead people voting, and we're going to go look at just how many dead people voted here. I didn't think we'd have to do that, but we will. And you have a reputation for people being bussed in from Camden voting here.
Imagine if after all this, Pennsylvania doesn't matter.
But this goes way beyond any of that. And let me also add.
This is poison.
But this isn't happening just here. We have exactly the same lawsuit in Wisconsin.
Perfect.
Where exactly the same thing happened.
What a coincidence.
In Wisconsin, mysteriously at 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning, about 120,000 ballots appeared. Oh, here come these ballots.
Right.
Well, we have no idea if they really are ballots. We have no idea if they're signed, if they're postmarked properly.
Do you have any reason to suspect they're not?
100,000 ballots, and they all got counted.
That's what we do with ballots. Yeah.
Now I'm informed by former Congressman Sweeney, who's been.
We are continuing to monitor Rudy Giuliani. You might have noticed something happened to the electoral vote count for Joe Biden. Our decision desk has taken a look at Michigan and concluded Joe Biden has won Michigan and gets the 16 electoral votes from Michigan.
Interrupting Rudy's screed to say Biden's getting another state.
From the presidency of the United States.
Oh, that's perfect.
Nevada could do it. Those electoral votes are still out there. When you know there's 6 electoral votes there. If he were to take that state.
Oh, that is just perfect.
He would be at 270, and he would be on his way to the White House. Now,
play of the game.
Legal challenges being mounted as we speak by Team Trump.
Let's go back to Rudy's paperwork.
Make sure that it's properly postmarked. You make sure that it's properly addressed.
Oh, that is
And
genius.
then you pass on it. A number of these are often challenged by the Democrat representative or the Republican representative. We never got a chance to look at a single one of them. The gentleman here who did this for us says about 100,000 ballots went through that process in the 20-plus hours in which they wasted his time by not allowing him to see a single ballot. Well, that's 120,000 ballots that should just be taken out of the count. So you want to look at that number, that 120,000 should come out. And this is an area in which Biden is getting 60, 70% of the vote. I don't know if this is going on any other place, but it is going on in enough frequency in Wisconsin that we've brought suit, and now we'll have to look into 3 other places. What it says to me is this is a concerted effort
to win,
of the crooks to run the Democrat Party,
to get people to vote for
these
you.
Big city machines are crooked. You know that. 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 100 years of one-party rule leads to corruption of all kinds. Voter fraud is one of the biggest because that's how you keep your power. But we're not going to let them get away with it. They're not going to steal this election.
No, they might win it. Not steal, win.
These people, the elite, they don't care about the people. The people are the deplorables, the chumps.
Chumps.
They're not important. To President Trump, he's the whole reason that he ran for office.
What?
And he's the whole reason for which he's carrying on this campaign, so that your vote can mean something, so that your vote doesn't get wiped out by 100,000.
I hope Biden wins, but this stuff sticks around for sheer entertainment value, but it becomes benign instead of so weaponized.
Continue the lawsuit here. We're going to bring a second one, and then we're going to bring a federal lawsuit.
3 lawsuits.
And we're going to take a very good look at whether we bring this nationally. We certainly are going to bring it here. And
Sue every state, yeah.
Do a national lawsuit,
right?
And really expose the corruption.
National lawsuit. There you go.
But this is beyond anything I've ever seen before.
Who else could we sue?
This
maybe
comes when you think you have so much power, and you own the media,
right?
That you can do anything you want. Well, sorry, we're going to fight for the people. We're going to vindicate their right, and the ultimate result is President Trump has won Pennsylvania.
Right.
I've never heard of a count.
Look at everybody nodding in the background.
You're ahead by
Talk about NPCs.
With 80+% counted, and they haven't called it for you yet. They called California the moment the polls closed.
Why do you think that is?
How many votes do you have to be ahead to win, for a Republican to win here? How many votes do we have to be ahead? 400,000 is not enough?
It's satire.
With 80+% counted, I think there's only 14% of the vote to go. Do you think we're stupid? You think we're fools?
No, you think your followers are stupid.
And they do think you're fools. And that's why you get called deplorable and chumps. It's over.
All right, Rudy Giuliani wrapping things up here. I want to bring your attention again to some startling numbers you're seeing on the screen here.
What a day.
Electoral vote count. Why is he at 264?
What a day. Wow.
And others have.
All right, so that's from Fox News there. What an event. That is unbelievable stuff. Truly unbelievable. I'm going to need a little while to recover from that, because that is something else. I'm being told that the Pennsylvania gap has shrunk again. Now it is indeed down to just 5.1. My rough math is that in order to get back to tied, Joe Biden essentially needs to make up 0.4 points for every percent reporting. That's my rough estimate, and those numbers are coming in. Nothing new in North Carolina, nothing new in Georgia, and Nevada not officially not giving us anything until tomorrow. But we were told that tonight at 9 p.m., I don't know if it's 9 p.m. East or 9 p.m. Nevada time, which would be midnight East, we are maybe going to get some information from Washoe County. Unbelievable. You know, I don't know if Biden's going to win, but I am just delighted to see people like Eric Trump and Giuliani make complete and total fools out of themselves. I mean, just what are they even talking about? What are they even talking about? Okay, let me get an update on our new member numbers. Almost spilled an entire glass of water. We are now at 372 on membership. which puts us 125 above the latest number. And that is 613. Oh, my God. Which means we go 750 instead. And then on Twitch, we're at 1926. Oh, my God. That's another 157, putting us at 770. These numbers have to be illegal. I don't even know. How is this even allowed? I'm going to have to talk to somebody about whether this is even legal. I don't think it. From what I've read, it's not. Welcome. If you are just joining us, give me 3 minutes to summarize everything that has happened today. Welcome. If you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, we do have, at this point in time, 104,000 people with us. And I'm really, really glad that every one of you is here. The news from today is that the morning started looking roughly like this. In fact, Alaska hasn't yet been given to Donald Trump, but I'm giving Alaska to Donald Trump. The incredible news from today is that first Wisconsin was called for former Vice President Joseph R. Biden Jr. By the way, there's a hype train going crazy right now. And Michigan has now been called for Joseph R. Biden Jr. So this is now sudden death for Donald Trump. If Donald Trump loses Nevada, it is over. If Donald Trump loses Pennsylvania, it is over. If Donald Trump loses North Carolina, it is over. Whoops. And if Donald Trump loses Georgia, it is also over. Now, for me, the most likely of these is still Nevada, but we've got to keep counting the votes in Pennsylvania. The latest update from Pennsylvania is that with 86% reporting, Donald Trump's lead has shrunk to just 5.1. To remind you, we started the day, I don't know at 9 a.m. where it was, but we started this stream with Pennsylvania about 7 points apart, 6.9. And it is now down to 5.1. That's a reduction of 1.8 over 6.92 over 25. That's at about a 22% reduction. And so just while I've been streaming, Trump's lead has been reduced in Pennsylvania by 22%. People telling me to refresh. Okay, I think this updates automatically. I'm not seeing anything different here. Still all looking just about right. The only Michigan has now gone from a 1% lead to a 1.1 to 1.2. Now a 1.3% lead in Michigan. So that is expanding. Now, what is the news from the Trump campaign? The Trump campaign is suing everybody. Chris Christie looks like he's had bad clams all of a sudden because it is not looking good. Let's take a listen.
Want to fall behind if you're going to be in a close race like this. Ram and I were discussing this earlier. You always want to be the guy who can, be fighting from ahead rather than fighting from behind. But I think there's a clear strategy here. I think Arizona hasn't been called because Arizona shouldn't be called.
The AP has called Arizona.
And people don't really know what's going to happen in Arizona. None of the Biden people feel confident, but you know what? The Trump people felt confident in Wisconsin last night, and then when Milwaukee County hit, all of a sudden they were behind. I think it's close enough for Wisconsin for it to be appropriate to ask for a recount, and they have. And as far as the lawsuit in Michigan, I think it's appropriate to say we want to be able to watch these votes being counted, and apparently Michigan law allows for that. And so you, of course, would want the votes to stop being counted until the court rules. And if the court rules in your favor, then you can go in and appropriately watch those votes being counted. And the same thing should apply in Pennsylvania. So,
I don't think the end game is just watching the votes be counted. I think the idea is you do that in order to buy yourself time to then come up with something else. I think that that's the approach. So indeed, Donald Trump is filing a lawsuit in Michigan. Rudy Giuliani just told us that they're filing a lawsuit in Philadelphia. Rudy Giuliani told us that they're going to file a second lawsuit and then maybe a national lawsuit. They're going to sue every state. It'll be the biggest lawsuit anybody's ever seen. And that is what is going on at this point in time. Okay. I do want to You know what I think we will do? I think that we're sort of getting most of the information that we're expecting today. So what I would like to do is maybe open the phone lines a little bit. I want to hear from a few of you guys. I did have a few memes. It seems like an inappropriate day for memes, but this is Joseph R. Biden Pacman Jr. This is a blend of me and Joseph R. Biden Jr. that somebody made. It's a little bit jarring when you look at it, but I don't know. It just feels like we need a little bit of a meme. So why not? This is me wishing the American public was less ignorant. What if you could read? And then this, I don't know if you saw my election against Jesse Lee Peterson. He got only Alabama because that was his home state. I ran the table, even the deep, deep South like Mississippi and Louisiana, Georgia, South Carolina. It all went Pacman. So that was a really, really tough day. Tough day for Jesse Lee Peterson. So that is that. If you are just joining us, though, and you're watching on YouTube, please make sure that you like this stream and also hit the subscribe button. It's free to subscribe. Here is something you guys might find absolutely hilarious. Let me see if I have this. Check this out. Yesterday, okay? Yesterday, we had 1.4 million people watch our YouTube stream. And YouTube says only 33 people subscribed. Now, you might say, if I had 80,000 people watching all night, how is it that only 33 people subscribed? You guys broke the subscribe button on YouTube. This is something a lot of people don't even know can happen. So many people hit subscribe during yesterday's stream that YouTube cut it. They pinched it off and they said, we need to evaluate each one of, they essentially are like doing the analogous thing to bringing in election observers and saying, we need to verify each of these subscribers. My YouTube rep today said it was off the charts what happened yesterday. So anyway, let's break that button again. Hit that subscribe button. I don't know if Twitch has a similar mechanism, but why not? Let's just do it there as well. And we did launch a brand new, and I do mean absolutely brand new, coupon code, which is Fresh Start. We're considering today a fresh start, no matter what happens. Grab a membership at joinpacman.com. Use the coupon code Fresh Start for an illegal and certainly immoral 70% off. Okay, let's take some calls. I want to hear from you guys. We take calls via Discord at davidpacman.com/Discord. When you get in there, click on waiting lobby, set your microphone, set yourself to do not disturb so that we're not hearing Discord blinging all night because that's not fun. And then I want to hear from a few people and then I'm going to run. I still, I want to make sure I get a run in and we've got to work on tomorrow's show. And I think I'm cooking tonight. So we have a lot of different things going on. I don't want to miss any of it, but I do want to hear from some of you guys. Okay. So davidpacman.com/Discord. I have a bunch of people who are just calling me directly on Discord. I'm not going to pick up on you. Please stop doing it. It's just annoying. It's really, really annoying. We have a process. We go into the waiting lobby. We get ourselves connected and let's hear from a few people. Okay, I want to hear from our caller in Pensacola, Florida. I have many friends in Pensacola. Let's go first to Pensacola.
Hey, this is Scott in Pensacola.
Scott, I have a friend, Scott, in Pensacola.
Awesome. I'm actually out on the disc golf course trying to get some therapy right now.
I understand.
I was just curious. So what will be the content of the suits that Donald Trump is putting out? Is he asking for some sort of action to be taken or what does he want with these suits?
According to what it's a beautiful question. According to what Chris Christie said. By the way, are you watching the stream on the disc golf course?
I've got it in my pocket listening.
That's incredible. That's a huge win in the battle of ideas. I think that the idea is you claim that you need to stop counting ballots until Trump sends in the observers he wants. And then I guess you resume counting the ballots and they would presumably try to challenge a bunch of the ballots. That's, I guess. But it's not really any clearer to me than what crimes were committed in Obamagate.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, how successful do you think you'll be with that?
I don't think he's going to be successful. That's my guess as of right now.
Even with Amy Coney Barrett and everybody on the Supreme Court?
I don't believe it'll get to the Supreme Court. I think it's so stupid it won't get to the Supreme Court. I may eat my hat, but I don't think it'll get there.
Gotcha. Well, thank you for your time. I'll let you move on to the next one.
My pleasure. Okay, and how's the weather there on the golf course?
Oh, it's perfect. About 75 degrees and low humidity for Florida.
Perfect weather. Perfect weather. All right, there is warmly Florida man, a Florida man, we can say, checking in from Pensacola, Florida. Let's go next. There are just so many people that want to chat today, and I want to try to hear from folks from all sorts of different places. We want to hear from people with various different priorities and things that they are concerned with. Let's go to, whoa, things are just scrolling so quickly. I'm having trouble even picking up on anybody. Let me go to, whoa, this is just, I literally can't pick up on anybody because there's so many people. Let's go to Sergio from San Diego, California. Sergio, you are on.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hi, so good to talk to you. I'm a new fan, so nice to be here. I'm trying to multitask and study for my quantum chemistry course.
Perfect.
But I've been hoping that this would have been a landslide election. I know that's a big stretch, but I mean, even now, so definitely not. But even if Biden does win,
yes,
how does it feel for you knowing that more than almost half the country still supports Trump after the past 4 years?
I have been talking about this for 6 months, and check out all of my clips about even if Trump loses, Trumpists still live here. 60 million of them, and actually closer to 70 million of them. So that's a huge topic. It's disturbing and it's disgusting. And I'm going to continue talking about that. But obviously, that's a disaster that we have to contend with there. And I don't have an answer for you right now.
Yeah, and unfortunately, as this election time started to roll around here in San Diego, we've been seeing waves of, I guess, Trump trucks like driving on by in areas I wouldn't expect. Like,
we've even had them in Massachusetts in places I wouldn't expect. I mean, it seems to be, it's really a mind virus that's spreading through these trucks.
And it's frightening to think that what they say is true, that there is this, I guess, silent majority. And I hope.
Well, it's not a majority. I mean, Trump, most people voted Biden. And yes, Biden's over 50%, Trump's under 50%. So let's accurately describe the problem, but not go further than it actually goes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But just trying to keep my head up
in
these dire times.
Absolutely. All right, great to hear from you. Hope things continue well there. Let's pick up on another caller. We're going to go to... Let's see. Why don't we talk to? Oh boy, some interesting stuff going on here. Hard to even make heads or tails out of a lot of it. Let's go to Isaac from Scotland. Isaac from Scotland, you're on the air.
Hello, David. Can you hear me?
I can.
Right. Wow. I just joined the chat. I wasn't really expecting to speak to you this soon. It's lovely to speak to you.
Wow. And well, here we are.
Yeah, here we are indeed. Wow, it's 10 o'clock just now in Edinburgh on the east coast of Scotland.
Right.
I've been watching with bated breath the whole thing unfolding. It's just mental.
Yeah.
Mental to see.
It really is. And now let me ask you, as a foreigner, are you laughing at us because we have 65 million people dumb enough to vote for Trump, or do you pity us, or are you just afraid? Like, what's your primary emotion?
My primary emotion is sort of shock, to tell you the truth. That it was this close in the first place.
Right.
Pity for the number of sensible-headed people in the United States, of which there are tens and tens of millions.
Right.
And also fear and anxiety, like for the whole world, really.
Yeah, it is terrifying.
This is sending,
we're scaring the whole world.
Yeah, no, I hate to say it, but you really are, in terms of justifying authoritarian wannabes such as Trump, and also sending the message in terms of global issues such as climate change and international trade. To say that this is our choice for who to do that it's unreal from our perspective, David, to tell you the truth.
I hear the desperation and I understand it. Listen, just because I want to get a Scottish perspective on this, would you consider a hot dog a sandwich?
A hot dog, a sandwich?
Yeah.
Good question. Ooh, it's almost like whether a taco, whatever you say, is a sandwich. I'd say, yeah.
You would?
It is. Insofar as a sub is a sandwich, because the bread is also joined at one side.
Right.
As it is on a hot dog, it's that sort of same shape. So yeah.
Now, along that logic, is a burrito a sandwich?
Is a burrito a sandwich? No, man. A burrito is a wrap.
A burrito is a wrap.
All enclosed, Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Very good. Well, listen, I appreciate the Scottish perspective on these issues of paramount importance.
I appreciate you taking my call, and I have one last question, if I may.
Please.
I was wondering, Joe Biden recently said that he believed that about 70% of the mail-in votes remaining to be counted.
Yeah, you're breaking up, but you're saying Joe Biden says remaining mail-in ballots.
Which is most of them.
Oh boy. We're losing you. I'm going to have to let you go. You've gone lo-fi digital noise, so I'm going to have to let you go, but I appreciate the earlier calls. The questions. Let's go to Aldo from Peru. I don't believe we've ever had a call from Peru.
David.
Hola. Hola.
David, ¿me escuchas?
Sí, te escucho.
¿Qué tal? Bueno, estoy siguiendo las elecciones de Estados Unidos desde hace bastante tiempo. Encontré tu programa, gracias a Dios. Es la única forma de digerir las elecciones tan complicadas allá.
Sabes que Aldo, está toda cortada la conexión y suena como que estás adentro de una cueva.
Disculpa, estoy de la computadora.
Hablemos en otro momento. I told him that he sounds like he's inside of a cave. In Spanish, I told him that, for people who understood that. We're going to have to talk at some other time. We're having a connection issue there. Let's go to Elizabeth from Pennsylvania. Elizabeth from Pennsylvania, you're on the air.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Please set Discord to do not disturb.
Okay. So I was just wondering, we have been so caught up in what's going on with the election result right now, but earlier today my partner and I were talking and we realized, what about this scenario where Trump loses and then he immediately begins campaigning for the next cycle, and in that process continues to drum up hatred and fear-mongering? Like, what is that going to look like? Are we prepared for that? Is anybody talking about that?
But wait a second. You're saying Trump loses the presidency, but then campaigns for senators and members of the House for 2022 is what you're saying?
Or no, like that he begins kind of campaigning for 2024. So he continues being in the public eye.
As president? He continues as president for 2024?
Yeah.
Well, I think we would at least get 2.5 years off before. I don't think that's something to worry about at this point.
Good to hear.
Yeah. You're coming through extremely loudly. Are you using some kind of an amplifier?
No, I don't think so.
You're not. Okay. No, people are just finding your connection is extremely powerful as far as an audio signal is concerned.
Okay, well, thank you for taking my question.
All right. Thanks, Elizabeth. Great to hear from you. Wow. People all over the place. Let's go to Eric from Mississippi. Eric from Mississippi, you're on the air. Oh, God.
Hi, David.
Hi. Are you operating some kind of a siren? Are you at a lighthouse? Or?
No, my mom actually just started calling the phone.
Oh, that was a phone. Okay.
Yeah. So one question I have for you is:
you didn't just launch a submarine-based missile, did you?
Oh, not yet.
Not yet. Okay, good. Thank you. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I have a lot of friends on the left all over the country, and
Yes.
a lot of things I'm hearing that's concerning is like they're talking about voter shaming. Like they are not participating in the election.
Right.
And anytime you try to convince them to go otherwise, for no matter how severe of Trump it is, they just say, "You're voter shaming me."
Okay.
And I don't have to.
Okay.
So I'm wondering what your take on that sort of thing is.
You know, we've talked about voter shaming. Given that the election just ended, I'm finding myself disinclined to really figure out ways to respond to that right now, because we're at the farthest possible point we could be from needing to deal with that again. I mean, it doesn't mean we're not going to need to deal with it again in 2022. But, you know, oftentimes those folks just don't want to vote, and there's nothing you can say. They just don't want to vote, and they'll say anything.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't worry too much about that.
Okay, thanks, David.
All right, thank you. We're taking calls via Discord at davidpakman.com/Discord. We'll take a couple more. We're going to go next to, where are we going to go? A lot of international stuff. Let's go to Ashley from Wales. Ashley, are you Welsh?
Hello.
Hello.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. I wasn't expecting it so quickly.
I'm sorry I surprised you.
Oh my gosh, sorry. I wanted to ask.
Yes.
Do you think Donald Trump has any idea of the scale of global warming or any of that type of stuff? Because I don't really think he does, to be honest.
He has no idea whatsoever.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you, as a Welsh individual, when you see Trump be so idiotic on climate, do you laugh? Are you afraid because it affects the whole planet? How do you see it?
To be honest, I have a bit of a laugh and a cry. Yeah. Can I actually have a little bit of an input on the sandwich debate?
Oh, please.
So in Wales, we actually have this thing called a chipati.
Okay.
Where what you do is you get one piece of bread.
Okay.
You put chips or fries, as you guys would call it, in there. You put tomato sauce, and then you'd fold over the bread and eat it. That's called a chipati.
So if I understand, let me make sure I understand. Let me make sure I understand this. You're taking one piece of bread, and then you're putting fries across the bread.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you're putting what you called tomato sauce, or like marinara, pasta sauce, whatever.
Ketchup?
Oh, wait, it's ketchup.
Ketchup, yeah, we call it tomato sauce here.
Oh my God. So what do you call pasta sauce?
Pasta sauce. Well, it's a bit of a mix, really. Some people will just call it pasta sauce. Some people tomato sauce. And nobody calls it ketchup because it just feels more bougie.
So are you saying that in Wales, tomato sauce could refer both to ketchup or marinara?
Yeah, I guess I am saying that, aren't I?
Now that's strange, isn't it?
To be fair, yeah.
It is. Okay. All right. But back to the sandwich. You got a piece of bread, French fries, and ketchup, and then you roll it into a circle and eat it?
Yeah, so you put like the fries on one half of the piece of bread.
Yeah.
And then you fold the other half over so it's covering it. And that's basically a hot dog or something like that, but with chips and bread.
And that is a sandwich, or it's not a sandwich?
That is a sandwich.
That is a
that's
sandwich.
called a chipati, which is considered a sandwich, a chip sandwich.
That very much sounds not like a sandwich to me.
Yeah, I mean, that's just how I've grown up. So
Yeah.
I've learned to believe that that is a sandwich.
I do think these are the types of cultural differences that could easily be bridged.
Yeah, I saw someone in the chat say that sounds delish, and yes, it is. I just wanted to say that.
People in the chat asking if you're on any dating sites. I think that's inappropriate, right? That's not fair.
Dating sites. Oh gosh.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Don't answer that. Don't answer that. I'm telling you not. Do not answer that question. Okay, listen.
Sound fun. That's
It's been a pleasure, and we will continue looking at what did you call it? A chipati?
A chip butty.
Chip butty.
Yes.
Okay.
But if you say it a bit quickly, it's chipati. So it's like
Chipati.
one
Okay,
word.
good.
I'm getting loads of DMs.
Okay. Oh my God. Okay, and just very last question: malt vinegar on fish and chips? Yes or no?
As long as you have it with salt.
Okay. Okay. Very good. All right.
There's salt and vinegar in there.
All right. Thank you so much. Great to hear from you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Take care. All right, guys, we couldn't possibly go out on a higher note than that. So I want to thank everybody who joined me. As far as final numbers go, the gap in Pennsylvania remains 5.1. We likely won't know for days. And we are going to be back with you at some point. I don't even know when or where, things are just crazy right now. It's like the show never ends. But before you head out, if you're watching on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. It's really important to me that you do, because then we are, whenever I go live, you will be notified. If you're watching on Twitch, please follow me. We are just shy of 60,000 followers on Twitch, which would be an incredible number for us. And of course, if you're watching on Facebook, hit that like button. We'll be back very soon. No more coffee pictures, just coffee videos on my Instagram right now, david.pacman, always available. And I'll be back with everybody tomorrow. Thank you.